It's your boy. And today, that was worth the silence.
Was it though? Was it really?
Yeah, of course it was.
Oh my god.
We've got core crew with us. Core crew member. Core.
This is tight.
Nice one.
And me, Floppy Bob. Tonight is just family.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna cry.
Yeah.
I'll save it after the stream.
It's like we're high. It's because
We're high on Drag Race.
It's because your voice went so high. It's your boy.
Yeah. I'm enunciating with my range. Okay, so this is another good episode. Actually, we still got the episode. Oh shit, I forgot to get the chat up.
Oh my god.
While I get the chat up, give me 30 seconds. You guys do some Drag Race. See you later. Bye, everyone.
Okay.
Thanks,
so
Grant.
there's this show called RuPaul's Drag Race that we review every week. And we watched it this week and things happened. And there was a bowl. And we'll get to that, though. We'll get to that. Look, you just threw me in the deep end.
Keep going!
Let me look
4 more years. 4 more years.
6 seasons of the movie. Okay.
Omar's here. We've got some chat.
Okay, let's
And
do.
Comma's here as well.
All right. Penis gauge. I don't understand your writing.
I think he just writes penis gate on
Really
everything.
good.
Spoilers.
Oh, beautiful siren wakes up.
That's private. That's private. Closer.
Let me quickly read
No,
this.
that's my special private time.
Right. It's all about a pool boy.
Okay.
Apparently.
Right, that's just for me.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Sorry.
Okay, pro work, everyone. You really nailed that.
Yeah, I really kept it in
You really
content.
did. That's BB. That's a long season. Right. Okay. The first thing I want to tackle, please, is what's a lurk.
I thought you were gonna say racial profiling in America.
No, we'll talk about that in Untucked.
Okay.
But what's a lurk?
What's a lurk?
Yeah.
A lurk is a look,
But why?
but
Where's it
said
come from?
in a draggy way. Lurk.
I don't know if it is. I think it's got
I
more.
love you. It's like I love your lurk, girl.
Do the I again.
What?
Do the I. Nice. Now I get it.
No one knows what we're talking about.
No, why is it? Where I think lurks come from somewhere. He's really pushing it hard this episode.
Lurk.
Yeah,
it's
that
a
was.
look.
I think that was the thing, wasn't it? It wasn't just like mentioning it once. It was like, oh, I'm gonna make lurk a thing. Like he wanted to make lurk happen. It
But
was
is
like,
it from somewhere? Like, is it like a reference that he has that I don't
think
understand?
it's already
I
a
wasn't
slang
aware.
there, and he's just using it and making it more mainstream. No,
Bob, what do you think?
like square.
yeah. I kind of figured it was along that kind of those same lines of just kind of like modifying something that already exists. Kind of like yes becoming like yes, and like all those kind
Yeah,
of. What
but
do
you
you
can't
say?
make your own one. Can you make your own one? Should we make our own one?
Yes. What should
Yeah.
we make?
I like it. What did you say?
This is going to be sensational. I can say now.
What are you saying, Bob?
I was saying this is going to be sensational. I can just tell. Like our
that's
own
just
drag terminology. We've got this.
We're gonna go with our final choice is Squirrel
No,
Girls.
let's not go with. What was it? The crow of the night.
Crow of
Crow of the
the Night.
Night, there we go.
Yeah, I like that.
Sure.
We need to make that a thing as well.
I like
Hashtag Squirrel Girls. Hashtag Crow of the Night. But we need like an easy word that people can just say in every F sentence.
Okay. Like.
We've nailed this. As you can see, we prepared this.
Real crispy.
These words.
You want crispy girl?
Like you
Like-
look real crispy tonight.
I like that, but like good crispy.
No, crispy's like
Oh
bad.
no,
Like,
I like it
your
crispy.
hair is looking extra crispy.
But what about Rice Crispy? What if you're
What?
white? Rice Crispy.
Oh gosh.
You're looking Rice
And if
Crispy.
you're like horny, you can be like Krispy Kreme.
Yes. Oh, brand deal. Hashtag spawn.
Nice. This was all a ruse for us
Exactly.
to get
Free Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme.
Sorry, let's catch up on the chat. So Omar said he's polishing his hardwood floor, which I think is a euphemism, and I respect that he waits for our stream to do that.
Somebody was in a parking lot. What are
I
you
know
doing?
sometimes he's got a very obscure life, and I'm here for it. Our Citikin's here as well. I think RuPaul has a secret speech impediment and knows how to use it. That's our MO, speech impediment, and knows how to use it.
True.
Conrad doesn't know why she's saying it like that. Still trying to make lurk happen, Ru. RuPaul's secret having a mild stroke last episode. Did you notice the voice was so weak and low? And now with RuPaul's imposter under that club kid look, I can't. It's a good point.
Last episode, I thought he had a cold or something because it was like.
Yeah, his voice was like, bring back my girls. It was a lot more of that kind of,
This
husky.
episode, he definitely has like lupus.
Oh, no.
She wants it. I wondered if it was just like one of those one of those things where it's just like he was thinking of doing like a more space agey kind of look or something, a lurk like that anyway, and kind of just figured like, and maybe I had like a really bad cold and looked like shit, like with puffy eyes or something. It was just like, fuck it, whatever.
Maybe,
like,
I respect that.
Yeah.
I cover my face more often.
I actually really like that look as well. I don't mean this as any shade on Ru, but actually that was my favourite Ru look in quite a while. So.
I know. I like that.
It was proper look.
It was proper look. Right, let's start at top though. Let's dial it back. So, first of all, the episode starts off with drama.
There was no drama.
There was about Monique. Something happened with Monique. Oh, did Monique check on Mayhem? That was it. So Mayhem and Monique.
Yes. It was like someone threw me under the bus. I knew it. I'm done with it. But I know you did.
Yeah, but then also Mayhem was like, oh, Monique's like, I did check on you because you seemed really quiet. But did she check on Mayhem? I can't remember. Let's just cover that first.
Well, I don't think it was shown on camera, but if she says she did, I kind of believe that she did.
Mm-hmm.
But I at the same time, I don't think Monique was like really being that like, oh, it's all Monique's fault. But sorry, I don't think Mayhem was
I know you
like,
meant,
oh yeah, like it's all Monique's fault. Like, she didn't listen to me. It wasn't quite like that. She just said they asked why she didn't, she believed in the choices. She said, I didn't, but I didn't say anything. I didn't feel comfortable saying it. And I think it would be a bit more fair from Mayhem to have said both to Monique and the girls and the judges to be like, but that's on me. Like, I know I should have said something.
Did she not say that?
Even if I didn't feel comfortable, I should have said something.
Yeah.
But
that's exactly how I feel as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like then Mayhem's clutching at straw sort of thing.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, I bet. So you can say Monique did ask her, but like in a very Monique way. So that sort of is what I guess probably happened.
Yeah, but if you're not comfortable with something, you say it. Like this is a competition.
I think, Bob, did you say it last week? Like that she was burnt out from the previous challenges, from slaying previous challenges, and she just didn't have the energy for last episode, it seemed.
I had wondered if it was like an energy thing, but then again, I mean, because I think either way, it's such an intense competition, isn't it? That if you have an off day, well, that kind of sucks because it's such it's one of those competitions where you kind of, I mean, it's almost more of it's that whole thing, isn't it? Like it's more of a marathon than a sprint. Like and especially in the early weeks, you kind of just need to like get through. So I mean, it does make me worried, but hopefully this is just like one of those situations where Mayhem has a bad week now and then never has one again. Whereas, I think the time where you've really got to be worried is if your first bad week is week 7 or week 8, and then you're fucked.
But on the note of it being like a marathon, like what do you guys think about having the ball so early?
I was quite surprised to see it so early.
Yeah, I wasn't that surprised just because I saw it on Instagram, but like they were announcing it, that would be a huge ball. And stuff. But
I mean, just the idea of having it so early on.
It's interesting.
For me, like I think it's potentially really good because the ball is one of like the peaks of the show, and the fact they're bringing it so early to me means they've got really great stuff planned for the rest of the season, especially again. Yeah,
that's a good point.
What we've seen so far, that was I think that's going to be the case.
It's such high level drag this season.
Right.
The contestants, the show, everything is like a 10 for me this season.
It's been really quality stuff.
Yeah. I think that's what's been quite nice as well, because with last week, was it last week with Best Drag, or was that the week before? That was the week before, because Calorie did it, right?
Yeah, it's Feathers last week.
Yeah. And so with already having best drag and the ball quite early on, I think that's also quite nice because often, if the ball is only like the top 5, top 6, there's so much, there are so many lurks that just kind of get like swept under the carpet really. Because that you don't necessarily see. So, for example, if it had just been top 4 or 5, we wouldn't have seen best drag from Yuha or of some of the other queens who are perhaps more of,
Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah. But I mean, like also, and the same with the ball, that we get to see it quite an early stage. And that is quite interesting what you said. Like, I hope that does mean that there's a lot more in store that's going to be great.
I think so.
Especially because, I mean, hopefully they didn't come up with these ideas at the same time they came up with All Stars 3 and the runway challenges for those, which was like, your challenge is red.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of hoping that these ones so far seem a bit more imaginative. So
yeah,
true. So you should talk about the mini challenge first of all.
Yes, what was it again?
Zoom in.
Supposed to zoom in.
Yeah, I'll zoom in on the comments in a sec. Sorry, what did you say, Bob?
What was the mini challenge again? I'm going.
Oh, it's good, the photo bombing one, which I think they've done before. They've done that before, haven't they?
No, they've done like red carpet slips, but not.
Oh, that was what I'm thinking of. Yeah. That was a great challenge, then, right?
That was really silly and funny as well. I like the silly stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, but again, like I think similar to previous mini challenges this season, they were all great. Really, there were no like really big weak links in the mini challenge.
Yeah, they're all doing really well. It's kind of hard to like pick top when like they're all kind of bringing their own thing and being funny. Do you mind if I partake on some Krispy Kremes?
I mean, because it's seductively.
Okay, guys, get ready to see me licking some holes.
Did not like my Nita season, and she's been doing so good so far. That's what Omar says. So do you mean in terms of runway mini challenge? What are you talking about specifically?
Which one do you want?
Right, the strawberry one. Okay. If that's okay.
Yeah.
So, but like as the same note I said for every mini challenge, but Aquaria looks great. Like with no.
Yeah.
She looks so polished.
I know. I was so surprised that little like blonde wig look. It was like, oh, that is actually like that's better than some of the makeup of some of the girls going onto the main stage where they've had like 8 hours.
Exactly.
So,
Guys, I don't know if you know this, but she's wearing makeup on the daily as a boy as well. So it's a lot easier.
Oh, good point. I didn't think of that. That's actually a really good point.
To put makeup on top of that.
That's
like she's already done her face. So, yeah. That's all I have to say. Yeah,
that's some good tea. Oh, hey Marcel, you're right. And they are saving Snatch Game for top 4, and it will be horrendous. They're not saving the top 4. That would be the worst.
That
would be really awkward.
Pretty soon, actually. Maybe next episode.
Yeah, that would be good. I'd like.
But like any standouts from the mini challenge? Anything you wanted to talk about? Any mini challenge tea? Anyone?
All I can do is apologize for what's happening right now.
You take that donut. You do with it what you want. Have your wicked way with it. I think apart from anything else, I just really loved there being mini challenges because they've all been quite silly. They've not had a massive bearing on the later challenge. I mean, apart from like giving like the team leaders or whatever, it's not really done anything else. And I've been totally cool with that because I think. Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to bring back mini challenges, that's kind of what you need to do with them. They should be light and silly. It's just a nice way to see a bit more of the queens before you go on to the main challenge and then they have to like kill each other.
Well, that's it. Like especially this season because there's so much drama. Like we really need this. Like if not, it'd just be ridiculous, right?
Well, also like to be fair, I think like they're pretty like friendly and stuff during the workroom and stuff.
Yeah, actually, really, good point.
But
that dramas can spill over though.
The dramas they spill over when people are tense in the fucking, judging.
Do you think, like, at the beginning of every episode, I feel like last few episodes we've had like a recap of what's happened in Untucked, like Finny was saying whatever in Untucked, and I feel this way back. Do you think it's just to promo Untucked and to get people to watch Untucked?
I think it's to, like spill the drama a little bit further. Just bring it into the program because it seems like during the challenges they're actually like pretty helpful with each other, and obviously they want to see some drama as well. The drama ends up always happening in Untucked.
Yeah.
What was I gonna say was At the same time, like it's just like having the mini talent is so great, but it just makes you like kind of fall in love with all of them, and you don't want anyone to leave.
Yeah,
it's true.
yeah. So let's catch up with the comments. So, hey Smarty, thanks for joining us. Share your thoughts as we go along. And Suki's made a good point. It's Cameron banned from confessionals. Like I don't remember any confessionals from Cameron.
It's so true. Maybe.
But also, I
That's
was going to say, I think that's probably fair. Too shady. What are you going to say, Bob?
No, I was agreeing with you. I was trying to think if I'd ever seen Cameron with that, and I do wonder if it as well. If partly it's just kind of whoever gives the best answers, and like not being funny to Cameron, but like I didn't see Cameron coming up with like these really hilarious one-liners in quite the same way that I don't know someone like who would do that. Someone like maybe Aquaria, who's quite funny. Miss Cracker would give really good.
Aquaria's surprisingly funny, right?
She is, and
yeah.
And I wasn't actually expecting to like her as much because I kind of, especially from all the promo videos, was the whole like, I'm the baddest bitch in town. You know, it's that kind of like, all right, you know, calm your ass down, Beyonce. But like, I'm kind of glad to see that she's actually really funny. Like I think it's just that she has that kind of game face. But then actually when she lets that slip, she's pretty sweet.
Yeah, that was really funny in the workroom where she's trying to like do that thing for like the sound bite for.
Oh yeah,
that was proper funny. She just kept getting it wrong. She's very endearing.
And that's the thing, when she's vulnerable, that's when it's kind of cute.
Yeah.
Also, actually, after Last Untucked, which we'll talk about yet or like later on, like she must be like. I'm surprised she still is so like positive and energetic sort of thing. That's literally like the next day, I guess, after the shit she went through.
Yeah, maybe she just, you know, she might have realized, you know, she has to work with these girls if she wants to get to the top.
It's true. And I think that was a good wake-up call for her as well, because I think and actually, she, at the end of that argument with the Vixen, she did pretty much step back and kind of say, you know what, I see what you're
That's
saying.
how I feel as well, yeah. I think that's great. But we'll talk about it later on because we haven't heard, I want to hear Sister's view on it. But let me catch up on the chat for a second. First of all, so Jess is lurking in the chat again. What up? But like everyone's got some opinions on Cameron, so let's go through them. So Omar's saying Cameron seems to be missing from the first half of the season, but he's sure she'll shine in the lip syncs. Sutukin is Team Cameron, but worries she won't build a rapport with fans because of screen time. And so I was saying Cameron is turning some looks, and that's changed from her first couple of looks. I don't know. Like I mean, we'll talk about her looks this episode later on, but just generally, like I think I expected a lot from Cameron, and she's under delivering for me generally. I don't.
Did you expect a lot from Cameron?
Yeah.
I did. From the first episode.
No, from like the stuff outside the show before the show aired.
Oh, okay. Last episode, she really impressed me with that look. I thought that was absolutely stunning.
I agree completely.
And this episode, I thought she did really well as well. Body.
Interesting. Maybe it's because I think you have to really sell the look. Like you have to have a whole character and then sell the character. I feel like a lot of queens do that extremely well, but I feel like she doesn't. She's quite bland. Like her personality hasn't shone through at any point.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's like everything on a runway, and like that worked for her look last week as like the like bland, like not bland, but like.
Yeah, but she did the character with the thingy and.
Yeah, but it's just generic. Like we've seen that 100 times.
Oh, okay, sorry.
But we'll talk about it later, I guess. The Vixen should be the ferret. One wrong move and she'll bite you for days. Yeah, we talk about that. And Jess is saying, you're contributing, Jess. Good job. I think I'm the only one who didn't get her looks this week. Yeah, we need to talk about this. I'm with you actually.
On Cameron's looks.
Yeah, we'll talk about. Don't go in now. Though. We'll talk about it properly in a bit. You're gagging for it.
Always.
Gagging on the secret. Aquarius and Trinity Taylor season 10. I love that quote. Everyone judged her off the promo, but no see her as super talented and awesome.
But now see her.
Oh, now. Oh, okay. Cool. No, but Aquaria is different because Aquaria had a big following before the show, though. So I suppose that's different. But I know what you're saying. But okay, let's go back to what was going down. So, okay, so the actual ball challenge itself, I wrote down it's good themes. Like, it's very varied. Like, it's not, like, normally Sugar Ball, for example, like all the same sort of vibe the whole way through. Mm-hmm. Whereas this were like completely different looks. We didn't really have like any connecting theme, really.
No, there was no business realness as well, which is the point.
Yeah,
That's where I excel, really, because I'm a businesswoman.
it's true.
And I owe 51% of this company.
It's a good job you went in this episode then, But I like that though, because it pushed your queens. I think this is probably the hardest ball challenge based on that, just on that fact.
Every time I say ball,
I just
it's the hardest
it's my
ball.
MO, exactly.
Sorry, I'm silly.
Okay, so this is, I wrote it down now, but it's talks about the end as well. But like Asia helping everyone, how do we all feel about that?
She faking it. No, I'm
Oh
my god!
I do feel like they played up a bit of the kind of like, oh, and she helped I mean, obviously she did do it, but like, I do feel like they played it up for the arc of the episode in a much bigger way than probably was necessary. But I mean, it made sense for when we came to the elimination part, right? So, but I mean, it was sweet, and I think that's a nice thing that should have been encouraged. It's weird because I don't think there was too much of a sense of she didn't have much time for her own thing. I don't know. I didn't get that from the episode itself. I didn't think, oh God, she has no time. It was kind of when she got to the end and she was like, oh, this thing isn't good because I had no time. And I was a bit like, oh, okay.
Yeah, sort of a lot. Like it happens a lot. Like they create like a narrative based on like a retrospective narrative based on like the critiques they've gotten. I feel potentially because again, like I mean, personally, we talk about it later on, but I personally like the looks. Like they didn't look unfinished to me. I think maybe it's a bit of an excuse potentially, but I don't know. But I think, but in a way, like it's smart because it's more important how you come across, and she's coming across as a total sweetheart.
Yeah.
And it's really good. I think it's good to make build that camaraderie with the girls. They go on tour the whole time, and they're the ones who do the best, the ones who do have that camaraderie. Plus, obviously, the fan base, and I think it's a smart move. I think she sort of said that at the end as well. She sort of said, it's more important. I felt it was more important to me at the time to help my sisters or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's quite like I don't think she did it to be smart. I think she's just very nice, but it is actually the right thing to do in terms of the show and everything as well.
I do believe her when she says like it's not to the it wasn't finished to the extent that she wanted to, and and maybe she was paying too much attention to the girls, and it just like sometimes you get caught up on like helping someone else and then realize fuck, like now this is going wrong and I don't have enough time. But it felt genuine to me, and also I did like some of the looks, but we'll talk about that.
Yeah, but also so on the same sort of note, so I mean she put pressure on her. I don't know if she put pressure on herself, but there was pressure on her because she's a seamstress. Like they showed like a little montage of all the outfits she'd created and stuff.
Yeah.
So
that's
I
true.
think she was feeling very confident about the looks that she was going to present, and like didn't leave enough time to like for things if they went wrong or something like that, and if they seemed a bit more difficult than she thought they would be. So she was like, oh, I'm like my outfit, I got this, so I can have time to help the other girls. But then she fell short on time, unfortunately. It just didn't come out the way that she.
But I think it's more like what you just said. Like I think she was really confident in her looks, just as they were. Because obviously she prepared before she came to Drag Race and just brought them with her. But I think she probably thought, oh, I'd like to add. There's a few things I could probably add to it. No, not the space one, but the first two.
No.
Yeah. She brought. I think she even said in the things. She's like, I brought them, but there's stuff I was planning to add to them or whatever.
Okay.
Right? Am I right, Bob?
I think they normally have a list, don't they, before they start the series, and they bring quite a few things. But I think that's the thing. It's obviously open to being changed. Like they'll say, "Oh yeah, bring a summer kind of thing," and then they'll be like, "Okay, so now it's Alaskan winter," and you'll be like, "Okay, so how am I going to make this more Alaskan feeling?" I'm surprised none of them. On that note, I'm surprised nobody did any look that was meant to be Alaska, unless Miss Cracker was. But like I was kind of expecting them to go for Alaska Thunderfuck herself as like a little nod to it.
Oh, that's clever. I didn't even think of that, to be honest.
That would be cool.
Yeah.
Bob, you need to compete.
I mean, I would be terrible, but thank you.
No, you wouldn't. Don't put yourself down. You flop your way to victory.
I mean, as always.
Coming for you and he's coming
I know.
for you hard.
I know. I'm trying. I feel like the whole stream would just be me and Omar like coming for each other. If I read all your comments, Omar, I am reading your comments and I am feeling a certain type of way. No, I sort of said my part with Cameron already. I do think she slayed with the black feather look the week previously, but I don't think she brings a strong characterization to a lot of her looks.
I think she did it a bit with the robot, the Martian one, like the little kind of like hitting the thing.
Do you think it's not enough?
But it's gimmicky though. It wasn't like, oh, I know this person's whole story. It's like I get this person's gimmick.
I mean, that said, I mean, not to jump ahead too much, but I was a bit surprised when they were saying that with Miss Cracker's Martian one. Like, she basically just kind of like vogued a bit, and then they were like, "Yeah, I really got the story," and I was like, the story of a voguing Martian."
That's my favorite bedtime story.
The Secret of the Voguing Martian. I'll write this for you. There'll be like an ASMR like video after this, which is just gonna be me reading story to Grant.
Exactly. We should write it now. We'll release a bonus video in a week where we do that.
Getting that content.
Yeah. I know I was saying about Asia that he likes that judges didn't make her feel bad about it, but said work on it. They could have easily shamed her for it.
Yeah,
and I agree. But like I said, like she's been given. I know it's not. I don't think it's just editing, but she's obviously been edited into this like really sweet narrative.
I think it helps that the other queens were like, she 100%.
Yeah, that was great. That made me reflect.
Oh yeah, that was sweed. That was really nice of them to actually say it. Like, because I think it kind of like, unlike BB and like the Aja dress scenario, it would have it would have been easy for them to just like hide back. So I think it's good that they actually kind of sat there and then she actually helped.
Totally. So again, like if there's anything I'm missing out, you guys can jump in. But like my next note is like Blair. Ruth's talking about Blair being the all-American boy or whatever.
It does look like he's just come out of like a book.
Yeah.
About 12-year-olds.
About 12-year-olds in drag, which I'm here for.
Going for Lactatia's kind of crown there, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. Fair.
So like he looks like those paintings of like a all-American white family around the table, and he's the 12-year-old son.
Yeah,
the kind of like the little kind of Peter Pan-esque kind of figure.
And it's so cute that he's not. He's a whore.
Sukin's got some tea. If Sukin thinks Rue's got a thing for Blair,
maybe he wants to raise him as his own.
Yeah, groom him right up.
That said, Blair did get like a ticket for when it was like a sentence for like drink driving, which is kind of quite an interesting. Yeah,
for the show, of course. I forgot about that. Got the ticket for DUI. Got DUI. Before, as the show was promoting. Yeah. I wasn't doing filming. That wasn't doing filming, obviously.
It might have been doing filming. I think it was like a probation thing where like technically Blair wasn't meant to leave the state and had to film. I don't know quite what happened there.
Good girl gone bad.
No, right?
Yeah. But I was just going to say, like, because Blair was saying he's frustrated that, he's looked at a certain way because he does look young and all this sort of stuff. But then, like, I do think he has really childlike mannerisms as well. He sort of feeds into it. But then that's probably just the way you are. Like, if you're put in that box, like, it's sort of, I guess you would.
That. Well, you
I really do.
In drag or out of drag?
Out of drag, really childlike mannerisms.
Yeah, I agree. But like, in quite a sweet and endearing way.
Yeah, I agree. But I think he needs to own his box, and I am talking about vagina.
Naturally. Grant is always talking about vagina.
That was a decent joke.
I'll take him anywhere.
Never mind. Right, and then what else happened? Oh yeah, so Rue's boy look.
Oh, I liked it. So no, what I thought was really funny was he kind of had this like there was a wonderful like picture that someone had doctored together of like Foucault's Drag Race, so, like like kind of the like kind of queer theorists from like the 70s and 80s, and this very like academic, like pretentious version of Drag Race. Because that's kind of like with a little turtleneck. It kind of worked. I quite liked it. It was kind of a bit of like 80s philosopher, like academic philosopher, and kind of Karl Lagerfeld together, and I kind of liked it.
Look, Bob, it breaks my heart to say this, but I have to disagree. I hated it. I am not there for it. And what is the color of that turtleneck even?
I think that's true. Thought it was still the Andy Warhol challenge. I think they moved on.
It was like the suit in itself. I felt like it was such a strong choice. Like, and I do mean short. I mean, I like so it was a bit like it had a bit of a Wakanda thing, which I'm here for, but not enough. It was too 80s for it. wasn't full Black Panther, and then he threw the
You think it's
turtleneck with
Wakanda?
it,
You're getting
and
Black
I was
Panther?
like, no.
I was getting like 80s wallpaper, but I liked it. I thought it was
I
fine.
think at first as well, like because of the color contrast, there's at one point where I thought he was wearing some kind of weird bib kind of part of it, because it just like the color blocking was so kind of intense and made this kind of like T shape for me that I was just kind of a bit like, what the fuck's going on? And I didn't quite understand it. And then I was like, oh, it's a turtleneck, because apparently my sense of logic is takes me that long to work out what a turtleneck is. But yeah, still, I kind of liked it. I mean, it's not the strongest.
Too much.
There's a lot going on. Yeah. Okay. Next thing I've written is why did Cracker bring up Aquarius sugar daddies?
Yeah, that was so random.
Someone told it to.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So, in something completely unrelated to the producers telling me this, I have a really important and controversial question to ask you. And I love that it was just like, oh yeah, where's this come from? Like, was it from another queen? It's like, no. It's like, okay, so like the relevance here is what?
Yeah. Well, that's the thing. Like, what confused me, like, just again, we're going properly after we've gone through the episode, but like, it doesn't make sense that like Aquaria wouldn't be bothered by someone saying like, oh, I've heard like you've got shitloads of sugar daddies and they pay for all your shit, and then like her not getting offended by that, but then the vixen getting offended by Eureka saying that she's a crafty queen, which she is, but like, it's like, how can you
She said it herself.
That's what I mean. She literally said it herself, and it's like, how can you go like fly off the handle about like a comment like that, but then like Aquaria didn't fly off the handle about that? But it's because it makes it more obvious it's the producers. That's what I'm trying to say. Because like, Aquaria should have been pissed off by that if that was just like a random question.
Yeah.
Like, when she drew attention to it, like everyone was listening to the conversation. Like,
yeah, it's like, what about your sugar daddies though? You're just like, oh, there, do your makeup,
So
and all of a sudden.
yeah,
What about your sugar
exactly.
daddies, though?
It's like, have either of you seen the film The Room?
Which one? I always get confused between. I always thought it had, but I've seen like the horror one with the kid and the woman
It's
in the
not
room.
that.
It's a drama. It's a drama called Room. First of all, it's not a horror film.
Is it not horror?
Well,
I think there is a horror one.
That happened are horrendous, but it's a drama film called Room. But he's talking about The Room, which was adapted recently by James Franco.
Yeah.
A film about the production called The Disaster Artist.
I don't understand. I blanked out.
Yeah.
That.
The main reason, anyway, the reason I referenced The Room is because it like there's a line in there where like they're talking. He's like blah blah blah. So they're like, yeah, it's really busy at work. So Mark, how's your sex life? And that's exactly how I felt like watching this episode, because it was like, so we're talking about something completely unrelated. Do you have a sugar daddy? Like, it was just a bit.
Yeah, naturally. Like, have you
I was upset by the lack of Shangela references during that.
That's what I was going to say. Have you not seen
Right.
season 1 Untucked? You don't ask people about their sugar daddies. Like, that is not something you do in drag.
But she referenced though.
Did she?
Oh no, so she did. Sorry, she did. She kind of jokingly said "bitch" at the end, didn't she? She's like "bitch," and
I
then
missed
like,
that.
Aquarius said it
I forgot
word for word. Like the
No, she didn't.
she did the last three
she
sentences.
did actually. She did. Yeah, sorry, I forgot
Words
that.
for word what Shangela said.
Yeah. But that's what I mean. But like, everyone's agreeing in the chat. But like, yeah, I mean, like, if you're in a workroom and so it's the same situation, like the example you just gave about, someone's been, what about your sugar daddies? But like the same situation again, and the producer asks me to ask you that, then you can't be pissed off at me, can you?
Yeah.
Because that's what I mean. So it's just obviously that, right? Like, it was just obvious.
It was obviously something that the producers thought we really needed to know.
Yeah, I know exactly. It's just pointless anyway. So there's no tea there anyway.
Yeah. And I hope they also don't keep up that kind of drama, well, the quote-unquote drama of like the stealing the looks thing between Aquaria and Miss Cracker, because like I feel like that's already like done a death.
Oh, that one. Okay.
Died a death rather, and I kind of hope that it doesn't get brought back up again, because like nobody's really that interested in everything.
I thought you were going to say, like every episode they have to have some sort of drama they talk about. Yeah. So I think that's why the producers asked them, because there was no proper drama in the episode.
Because they were all like having a lol time.
Exactly, yeah.
And I felt like it was actually quite cool. Like both of them, even like given that subject, they still kept it funny and like even made like poke fun of the whole other drama kind of thing. When she was like,
friends.
Yeah, that's the look that I don't want to steal.
Exactly, yeah.
Yeah, they're blatantly friends, and it's just.
The show's just not showing it. Exactly, yeah. Kurt's got a controversial view, which is he prefers Ruth's boy looks over her runway looks. That's like that's some serious shade, my friend.
That's not shade. I mean,
That is because like
that's a preference. That's still Ru in both.
yeah, but he's just putting on like a jacket. But whereas like the runway look, it takes him like 4 hours.
That is true.
That's what he's known for. It's a supermodel.
It's the mother of the world.
It is. And Sue can say they only had Cracker ask her to remind us of the rivalry, which was split decision of the judging panel set up again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
That's a good point.
Yeah, that is a very good point. But like, I do think generally this season feels less produced than previous seasons. Like they're covering it better. It still obviously is, but they're covering it better. I think generally.
Yeah, and I think having more time also allows for that, because I think when you've got like a 40-minute episode, you need to engineer that drama to happen ASAP and to be resolved within 40 minutes. So it would naturally feel quite like you're pulling at straws. Whereas in like just over an hour, you've kind of got a bit more time for like someone to have a bit of drama, then cool down, and then be like, and now's the runway, or to see it building through the episode, which is kind of what I feel happened a little bit with the Untucked, which we'll come to. But yeah.
Yeah, sorry, correction. I made a mistake. Kurt meant just this episode, even for Ru spoiler.
Oh, you're retracting, or are you?
Yeah, that's the same.
No, I did read that he meant this episode.
Sorry, I sort of skimmed through the comments. I do love you guys, though.
Clearly.
So, like, I really thought Monet was joking with her comment about British accents.
Oh, I did. I thought it's interesting because there's not full truth to what she's saying. I think basically she's taken some element of something and kind of misunderstood parts of it, because like in terms of accent migration, like the original American accent was a kind of British accent, and there are kind of some Appalachian accents that have a kind of stronger link to the UK accent, whatever, to UK accents. But obviously like the Birmingham accent was not influenced by America, as far as I'm aware. Like that, those have been so specifically grown over a long period of time. It's just about the kind of level of to and fro between the accents is a lot more fluid than just we went over there, they had an accent, then we left, and their accent changed. It's a bit, it's beyond just that, which I think is what Monet was getting at. But then I think it was, I think her opening statement was so like poorly phrased, and then the rest of it kind of tumbled around her. So yeah.
Check up with historical tea only on this stream.
Go.
I'm sorry, but I know that too.
You do that too?
Yeah.
Really? But okay, generally though, she's an idiot. I'm an idiot, so I can relate.
I'm not an idiot.
I'm an idiot. I can relate.
I think she launched into that in quite a weird way. I think what she was trying to say, like with a little bit, like if she just backed it up quite early on and hadn't said it in quite as because she said it in a way that was kind of a bit like black and white, really, wasn't it? Like, oh no, this definitely happened. Whereas actually, the truth is a bit subtler than that.
She got confused. She got a bit.
Now
confused.
I'm confused. Not gonna lie. But okay, what my point was, I think my point still stands, because like it's not just this is just one example. But before the show, I thought Monet Exchange was like super intelligent, like proper witty, like proper on the ball. But I feel like she's not. I feel like she's pretty dumb.
Just because of that one thing.
No, like throughout the whole thing, like the sponge dress, like it was just.
I don't think it's dumb necessarily. I think because she's still incredibly quick with certain things, and like the way she jokes with the other queens it's not slow. But I think I don't know. I think because you've got people who are so quick fire there, like Miss Cracker, who's just like it's out of her mouth before the other person's finished the sentence before. I think maybe she just by comparison looks. I don't know. She's not like super quick, but I still think she's pretty witty. And like, even in the lip sync, like there was a lot of like some of the little clever bits of that were kind of quite quick. Even if she'd done that kind of performance before.
I don't know. I thought before the show and like at the beginning she was super clever, but I really don't. The more the show goes on, the less clever I think.
I feel like she is clever. If there's anything to blame here, is the education system in the United States of America.
The country education system. Is that your main stance? What you did about it? And what?
And what?
I mean, no offense to America, there's a lot to come for with their education system. Like, yeah, what? there's a lot to come at and come for with the US education system.
Really, like she's a clever. I feel like she had that.
She's clever.
She got confused. I'm still here for it.
I know. I love her. Like I think she's really funny, really witty. Yeah.
Grant had said much dumber shit than that.
Yeah, true.
He
But
thinks
that's
every
what-
black woman is Michelle Obama. Let's just start at that.
That's the only reason I'm doing the stream, to get to do with Michelle Obama.
What?
That's the only reason I'm doing the stream, to get to do with Michelle Obama. It's the only reason I'm doing it. Yeah, but as I'm saying, I'm not claiming. I think if I went on Drag Race, then I'd be like, oh yeah, he's so smart. I can't wait to see the smart things he teaches us. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's not what I'm going for.
Thank God. Now you got your looks.
That's out of order. Right, should we go to runway?
This is not the look for me.
Is anyone else? Yeah, exactly. You come for my looks. Okay, before we go to the runway, any other like workroom chat we need to dissect?
No, bring it to the runway. Bring it to the runway.
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 Run away.
Shall I just quit this stream now?
Yeah.
Sorry for ruining everyone's day.
I'm so sorry.
Okay, so we mentioned it briefly, but first of all, let's start with Rue's look. What's everyone saying?
I loved it.
Mm.
Yeah.
I've seen that dress though.
Ooh, really?
Ooh, girl.
What, before on Drag Race?
She's definitely wore that dress before because I remember I really loved it. And then she just changed the gloves and the look. Telling
Yeah.
you that she has worn that dress before. I'm gonna find out.
It wasn't, I mean, because it wasn't that like unique a dress, was it? But I mean, I have to admit, I love that the glasses went all the way around. Like they didn't just stop like here. They were full on kind of
It was
molded
a
to her
full-on
face.
It was
The
a look, for sure. I'll see if he's got one more point about the workroom. Why didn't you? I've got to write this down actually. But why didn't Why didn't Asia mention Fifi as her drag daughter?
I was wondering that.
Mm,
I don't think
'Cause-
they're allowed to
because
talk about
that's what I was
Fifi.
thinking as well.
Because Rue was fishing. Like,
Yeah.
but that's what I thought, because I had a moment watching the episode where I was like, maybe I just got it confused. Maybe Fifi wasn't the drag daughter of
That's what I was thinking
Asia.
as well.
And then I thought, actually, no, they're both from the same town, as far as I remember. And then I remembered, yeah, like just around the time of season 10 starting, Fifi had like been like, yeah, you go, mum, like to Asia. So yeah, maybe it is because of the whole Fifi sitch, but still.
I'm sure it is.
I don't think they're allowed to bring her up.
Yeah, I wouldn't be
But why,
surprised.
though?
But then Bob's right, because it seemed like they were sort of fishing at the same time though. So it's a bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Odd.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, back to runway. So yeah, sorry, just my thoughts. I absolutely loved Rue's look. Thought it was amazing. One of my favorite looks. Yeah, it's cool because like Michelle always used to do the challenges, but now Rue's like proper doing the challenges. Like if I was Michelle, I'd be shitting myself. Like right, I could take off. Like she almost like took off her like astronaut helmet, just put it on the side. Just looked really sad. Just walked out. when she saw Rue. Right.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah.
I wish. I don't know. I kind of wanted to see her eyes done.
Oh, actually, Kurt's made a good point. I agree. I think if she wore a bodysuit, especially the same material as like the mask,
Oh yeah.
that would have been
Yeah.
amazing.
Yeah.
I agree. And like a really long kind of ponytail kind
Yeah.
of coming from it also. Mhm.
But can anyone imagine Rue like sitting in that for hours? She would never do that.
I mean, she could have just kind of like just worn like shorts underneath. Like after, I mean, like the camera never goes down there, so like after a while, you could like we could just be like full on letting it hang out under there. We would never.
Oh
know.
really? You
That's what he does. That's what Rue always does. They always just wear like nothing under the panel, pretty much. That's what I mean. But if you wear like a bodysuit, then he wouldn't. That's when he'd be like trapped in like a tight bodysuit the whole time.
Yeah.
So that's what I'm saying. So I can't
That's
imagine Rue ever putting that. You know.
If I was going to be a judge, I would do that. I would let my vagina hang out.
I usually do. I think so. I know you wear like that bodysuit type thing in episode 1, but it's probably like a way you can zip out a part of it or something like that.
Like Bruce is so used to this. Like he can do this all day, every day. It's no props. Ron, I think.
I just read that. Omar's coming for me. I'm gonna cry.
Well, I think the slow one is.
I don't think she's trolling. I don't think what's her name? Monet Exchange was trolling with that thing. I think she believed it.
I think
With
he
what
believed
thing?
it. I
Yeah.
don't think she was trolling, but I think.
That's the thing. I thought she was being sarcastic. She's trying to get everyone else. Well, back to what we talked about before. I
Oh, the language.
was saying she
Mhm.
thought she was just trolling. That's what I thought initially. Obviously, I'm like, oh, this is really funny. Like she's getting everyone to believe it. And then by the end, she turns out she did believe it. Like she did confessionals and stuff. It wasn't.
Yeah.
It
She was
wasn't
just a
sarcasm.
bit confused about the information in general, but
Oh, Suikin's thanks, Suikin, back me up. Well, Omar, if she was smart, she would have turned better looks.
Ooh.
That's fair. Okay, God, I can't read out all your comments. I was just literally reading your comments for like 5 hours. But
Oh my god, love it.
You
Get
guys
it,
can
keep
sort
it
it out.
going.
Get it,
Let's
get it,
do
kitty
it.
girls.
I'm here to fight.
Get a Jade.
So mayhem. Okay, so what was first of all? Was the Arctic one first? No. Yes.
The summer one first.
Swimsuits.
Cool.
The swimsuit.
Arizona
The
summer.
Alaskan summer.
Alaskan winter. Oh yeah. And then,
Alaskan winter. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Alaskan winter, which is summer.
So
Whatever, bathing suits.
yeah, got it. Mayhem's look. What was it?
It's alright.
Oh,
It was
yeah,
it was like a
Okay.
caftan and a thing and a
I love
bodysuit.
a
It was alright. I thought it was alright.
Sorry, say again, Bob.
I thought it was alright. I don't remember because I rewatched them just before the stream, and it was like one of those ones where I was like, oh okay, I'd forgotten that she did that. Like it wasn't particularly memorable for me. It wasn't bad, but it was it was alright. I had nothing really to say about it.
I think I put a little basic, like it was fine. It's all right. Totally agree with you guys. Fine. Who said that? Yeah, Kurt's made a good point, like a really good suggestion. But imagine Rue in Aquario's hair from the swimsuit challenge in the look he was rocking this episode.
That would be cool.
That would be amazing.
Ooh.
Omar bringing the controversy. He's saying it wasn't even RuPaul there.
Yeah, that's what someone said earlier on. That it's funny. Someone said if you get Shangela underneath,
Yes!
that'd be amazing.
It was just
Finally.
Trixie, just kind of like trying
Oh,
to redeem
God.
herself.
God, if she does that, if she wore that for Snatch Game, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
Okay, Eureka swimsuit. I remember this one.
It was okay, I thought.
It was okay. The
Yeah.
colours for me were a bit off, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's my thing. I didn't like the grey boob pads.
yeah,
That was
No.
alright apart from that for me.
no.
Mm.
I
Um,
thought she might like integrate that with the other looks, kind of, and that's why it was grey. Like I thought she might keep everything silver and try to do like a whole
yeah,
thing, but that wasn't it. So
yeah. Kurt, I'm with you. I can't remember most of the looks either. Monet exchange.
Monet, what'd she do?
I can't remember.
Hers was a
that
bit,
there.
the green. It was the green swimsuit. It was a bit basic.
Oh,
Actually,
yeah.
one really interesting thing to note. Like I saw this on Twitter, and then I checked it again with Fashion Photo Review. If you look in one of the times that she's walking up the runway, she's wearing silver shoes, and another time she's wearing black shoes.
Ooh, that's some good tea.
Continuity error. That's the continuity error segment of this show, introduced by me.
It's all a lie.
It's all a lie because I think they do the runway twice anyway. Because they did it once
Yeah,
with
they-
music, once with
yeah.
something apparently.
Yeah,
So.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was all right. It was quite a basic look, I thought, but like it wasn't bad. It just was a bit basic for me.
I think I wasn't impressed. Jess, do you mean Eureka or Monet?
I think she
gave
means
some cute little
Monet. I
waist?
do agree that her
Well, she sings
silhouette was a
better.
little, yeah,
That's
her
good.
Yeah.
silhouette was better.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's cute that she thought that hair was like, whoa.
Right.
I don't think she could be judged on the show. Yeah, no, exactly. Yeah, I know. It wasn't great. Cameron?
Wow, why is Omar coming for me so hard right now? I don't even understand. Have I killed your family? Really?
It's all that hardwood flooring. I think it gets you quite worked up, maybe.
That's a good point, actually. He's got a lot of aggression.
So Cameron, was that the hat and the? I thought it was okay. Like I thought it was kind of better than some of the other like bodysuit kind of swimsuit ones that were on display. But like the hair was a bit better because sometimes I have a bit of a problem with Cameron's hair.
Yeah.
And I think sometimes like the wig feels very much like it's not part of the, it feels like a wig rather than hair, which I know sounds
yeah, a lot
stupid
of
when
times.
someone's got like crazy hair, but
Very who's Bacon Lady?
I don't know what that means.
No, from season 6. Kelly Mantle.
Kelly Mantle, yeah.
Very Kelly Mantle times.
Yeah.
Suki made a good point with in regards to Monet. Neon should not be basic. That's exactly how I feel.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, totally summed that up well. Also, I'm so sick of neon. I've written this a few times, but if I see one more neon look on the show, I'm gonna kill myself. But Cameron's look generally like, is that weird like skin effect, right? Because she's covered up her muscles with like a lady body suit, and like that was quite clever.
I thought the body was very impressive.
It
the
was.
look itself, like,
Seen it 100 times.
seen it 100 times, but the body was
Basic.
impressive.
Yeah, the gimmick was it wasn't her natural body. But
I do realize she's not a woman grown thing.
what? No, but like the skin suit thing, and like it was clever, but like if it had a good outfit on over the top of it, it would have been really good. But it was just
You need a more oomph.
yeah. Vixen,
I loved this. I
Oh,
really,
yeah.
really loved this.
transparent
The
one,
transparent one. That was
and a
really
massive
cool.
fan. Absolutely loved it.
I thought it was
I'm a
really
massive
cleverly
fan.
done.
He's a massive fan, guys.
I'm a
The look.
fan.
You
Yeah.
weren't even
Okay,
trying, were you?
No, it
That's
wasn't.
so cute.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
No, but I loved it. I thought it was really, really well done. It was quite weird because actually like, the material could have looked really cheap, but it came out looking really quite classy, which I thought was really good.
Yeah, she obviously
Yeah.
like planned how she was gonna pose that fan and stuff. It was really cool.
It's the only Vixen look I've loved. Like I proper loved it.
Really?
Oh
Yeah,
wow.
all season so far. Not out of this episode, but like because I've not liked any of her looks personally. I think they've been good, but I haven't really liked any. But this look I absolutely loved. I thought it was really great. Aquaria.
Oh, the Lucha Libre thing. That was so good.
Yeah.
Really good as well.
So good. And I can't believe it's taken us like 10 seasons to get like someone doing that kind of look, the Lucha
I
kind of.
know.
Yeah, it was
Look.
so cool. But again, it's like a very,
really well done.
yeah, it was like a very masculine thing, obviously, but she like hyper femmed it up, and it
I was just about to say, yeah.
yeah, a really cool take on it.
It's impressive as well because given that she basically was using her boy body, she still managed to make it look incredibly feminine, and the hair was excellent for that. I think.
Yeah,
Definitely.
loved
yeah.
it. It had like loads of cool. Again, like I always say, like for me, it's like looks have to like interest me and be different, but it had loads of aspects of it that were really interesting, like the hair, the color scheme, the fact, like the concept, the body, like it all just
Polished
yeah,
as
it just
well.
tends.
Right, and because it wasn't All Stars 3, we got to see it and like really kind of watch her like work it. So yeah, it was
Yeah.
good.
So everyone's agreeing, everyone's loving it in the comments. Basukin saying, did she get superhero in the brief or something? It did look a bit superhero as well, but it's good. That's something like you have to take like what you're given, like swimsuits, then like add other elements into it to take it to the next level.
Right, I think that was the problem I had with Monet's one. It was just like I'm at the beach. It was just like okay, and the
Yeah,
same
exactly.
for somebody
And
else
same
did the same thing.
Mayhem.
Yeah,
Mayhem Funem did it, and Cameron. Like if Funem did it, Cameron was
Right.
just by the pool chilling with a skin suit.
but actually Cameron's I felt was slightly more like I feel like you kind of see that kind of woman by the pool, like that kind of she's on holiday, she's twice divorced, like you know, that kind of.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but we've seen her before, like in Jaguar.
That's true. Yeah.
But also, this is a reference not many people are going to get. But there's a game on Switch called Arms, and Aquaria looked just like a character from Arms, like she fit right in that roster, and that's why I loved it as well. That's really cool.
No one knows what you're talking about.
Some people will get it. If you comment down below if you know what I'm talking about, please.
No one knows.
They do. Dusty.
Oh, it was a bit basic apart from the hat. I like the hat.
That's the
Everything
thing,
else was a
like,
bit basic.
that's basically what the judges said as well, and I completely agree. Like
Yeah.
the hat was gorgeous. There was a concept there, and then the rest was left to like a bikini that you can find at H&M.
Right, that was exactly it. And that's the thing, that look had so much potential in terms of the concept of it, because like that kind of rocker chick kind of thing, like at the beach, kind of she's just come back from a party, she's stolen her boyfriend's hat kind of thing. Like that look could have been like so much grungier and like better done.
Yeah.
And it was just kind of, I was kind of expecting those shorts to have some other kind of embellishment that they just did not have. Which is a shame because I really like Dusty's kind of aesthetic, but normally, not this episode as much. But
Sorry, just across it. I actually forgot we're trying to make that a thing. Thanks for bringing it
It
back.
wasn't crusty, it was crispy. What I said.
Oh, crispy! Damn it! We need to make crispy a thing.
crispy ray bottoms.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Oh wow. But for me, it wasn't just the hat that was great. I think the whole head was really cool.
Oh, the head was good, yeah.
Yeah, like everything was great. But also like the stripe thing she gave us in that jacket a couple of weeks ago, like amazing.
Mm.
And like it's just like a shit generic H&M version of it, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, man.
Lame.
Disappointing. Also, the gloves really annoyed me as well because they were like slightly lighter than her skin color and went up to here and had some sort of like weird.
Yeah.
Hated them.
No, it was crusty
And
and crispy.
crispy AF.
Actually, like sounds delicious now. But it
It
was
does. You're making me hungry.
I know. We've had some crispies. Monique, I love this. Sorry, spoiler.
Was this the watermelon?
Watermelon
bathing
one.
suit? Yeah, that was really good. The shoes were a bit, but like I thought like as an outfit, that was really nice. That was a really good look. Like again, she took what could have just been a boring beach suit and made it a bit more interesting. Like it had a bit of like movement to it.
Yeah, it was fun. She looked like a singer like Rihanna or Beyonce or something like that.
Right.
She said it herself.
Did
don't
she?
you try to fucking.
Did she? I honestly don't remember.
I don't know.
Honestly, don't. I
Who's
just
a
wish
pop
she did.
singer?
You know, a
She
pop singer.
says like I'm inspired by Beyonce's Lemonade. She said it herself.
I haven't seen Lemonade. I've seen like one Lemonade. All I've seen is Titus' version.
Yeah.
I need to see actual Lemonade. I've honestly not seen it.
No.
But yeah, it's like really fun to watch. Like she sold me the character well. Also, she had a good breastplate. Most breastplates are shit, and she had a really good one, and I respect that.
Well, Suzukin is saying that she hates Monique and all of her family. I'm kidding. I hated all of Monique's looks this time. Not that they were bad, just
Not my taste.
just
Yeah,
not my taste.
fair dues.
In
Fair
fair
dues.
dues.
For this, the watermelon one was the only one I liked of hers. I think.
I can't remember. I was remembering when I get to my notes.
I think that's part of the problem. We can't remember them.
It's too many.
Which goes to like some of my previous critique for me, but Blair.
I actually liked this. I thought it was a bit simple, but I liked the kind of the era she was going for. I mean, I do feel like she needs to show a few looks at some point soon that aren't just like 40s, 50s Hollywood glamour. But but like I thought it was good. Like I liked it.
Agreed.
Yeah, but like at the same point, it's just like if that's your go-to, but it's still a basic swimsuit just with her go-to.
Yeah.
You know, it's like literally if you go 40s, 50s, that's literally what I would expect a 40s, 50 per. Like if she sold it well, but it's still for her. That's the equivalent of like Mayhem's basic swimsuit. You know.
Right. I'd have liked her to have kind of taken that kind of thing and made it a little bit more like. So maybe more of like kind of a Marilyn Monroe kind of version of that or something, something that kind of has a slight more of a nod to something. Because there was a nod there to like old Hollywood style of that, but I just felt like it needed an extra little kick.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like it was an ugly look. Like it was.
I thought it was
sure.
beautiful.
It was a nice look, and she always looks really polished, but it's just it wasn't anything to gag about.
No, Asia.
Asia.
Was this the dotted thing?
Yeah.
I did not.
I really did not like this.
I liked it quite a lot.
I thought it had a lot of potential. That was the thing. If there was a look that if you'd just done a little bit more of like some of the little dots, and I don't know if it hadn't been quite as obvious that she was wearing like some kind of Spanx or tights or whatever, like I would have kind of liked it a little bit more. I just think for me it looked like exactly what had been made, if that makes sense. Like it didn't give an illusion of like, oh, I'm fully naked. It made me
I don't think it's trying to though. Was it?
I don't know. I thought that was the point in wearing that kind of. Oh, okay.
I don't think so. I don't know though.
I didn't like any of it. Not the wig, not the outfit.
I did, but I'll tell you why in a second. Jess is saying she loved Blair's because she thinks it's reference to the original Barbie doll.
It does actually really look like the original.
I just never know what the original Barbie doll looks like. That's a reference to people.
We're girls. We know this shit.
Oh. Two saying Asia boot squared. Oh, Kurt saying I liked Asia's, but it was bad. Oh, never mind. I thought it was with me for a second. I think actually no. I think I agree. I don't think it was like exceptional, but I just liked it. It just looked cool to me.
That's fair.
What I liked is like she's done a lot of looks that are like ridiculous, like over the top, colourful. Like her look for the first episode, I think it was. But it was just like the store. Was was that Monique who did that look? It was just like everything.
That was Asia.
It was Asia, yeah. This one, I liked it as much. I like the color, like the pop. It's more like a pop of color. I liked that. Like I liked the bodysuit was like the swimsuit was a dark brown, and it had like these really cool pops of color. I don't know. To me, I just like that. But it was just like I don't know.
Too Katy Perry for me. I don't like.
Okay, Cracker, the hair bikini, braid bikini.
See, I think what kind of made it a bit strange for me was that I mean because I love Miss Cracker, like she's mostly one of my favorites, but I was a bit kind of like I was kind of torn because I part of me loved like parts of the concept of it, and actually in terms of if someone was going to try and pretend to be Alaska, I think this is the one that might be like there was a little bit of an Alaska kind of feel to it, but at the same time I was a bit like I don't know, I feel like it could have just been a little bit more polished, maybe in terms of like the body shape. That it
This is
kind of
what
gave
the
a
chat's
weird
saying as
silhouette.
well. That's how I felt. That's my note. That's what the chat's saying. I think for me, what made it look so disproportionate was the bra was way too big and it had zero padding.
Yeah, and then it was like a very straight down body.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just, it's a cool concept, but just executed very poorly. IMO.
Hmm.
Yeah,
But the judges seem to love it.
Yeah, it makes no sense to me that they did.
I would prefer a little bit of, but it did. I think it did look quite a bit like the little bobhead doll that she was trying to, the little Hawaiian one. That's what she was trying to do.
Oh yeah,
because it's like so
and a
like,
hair skirt and stuff.
Yeah, because it is like a big head and like a small sort of body with the green thing. Took me a while to realize it, but I don't know. I thought it was cool. I thought it was alright.
I don't know. Again, we've seen so many hair looks before. Like, I don't know. It's got to be. It's like the money dress. Like, you got to like. If you're gonna do a look like a sort of like look that we've seen a lot of before, you got to really make sure it's gonna kill.
You got to amp it up a little.
Say again.
Sorry, I was doing a voguing right now reference. Sorry, I was like, you've got to amp it up a little.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm really into voguing right now.
Actually, so am I.
Go on.
Right, so that's the first section done. So now we're on to like the winter looks, right?
Yeah.
Alaskan summer. Was that it?
Yeah.
Cool.
No,
Mayhem.
it's Miami summer.
Miami
summer. Sorry. Mayhem.
Oh, this was good. This kind of like Ice Queen kind of thing. Her makeup was beautiful.
Loved it. It's giving me Storm from X-Men, but like an even cooler version of Storm.
That was pretty cool.
I thought she was relying on his contacts quite a lot, but
a little bit.
It did look great.
Yeah,
to be fair.
I wish she wouldn't like wear them so often because it kind of takes it away from like a look like that where it looks so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, it definitely fit with the outfit and it looks pretty cool. Yeah.
Yeah, I really liked it. Eureka's?
Eureka's. I don't know. I thought.
Oh, that's all right.
I thought it was all right. I thought it was kind of felt middle of the pack for me, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh wait! No, I'm thinking of the last one. Actually, her winter one was my favorite.
Like pale pink hair
of her looks. I thought, yeah, the sort of purple. It was kind of like a purple grey hair.
Yeah, pale rose.
Yeah, it was that one I really liked actually.
Yeah, I loved it. I think the makeup was amazing. Obviously, she reused it for the last look, but I think it was really striking. I absolutely loved her winter look.
I thought her winter look was by far her strongest look.
I agree.
Oh yeah, I think it was her strongest one. It was still a bit kind of like, okay, it's all right for me, but like fair.
Yeah. I liked it that day. Monet.
I did Monet do.
Oh, that was beautiful. I really liked that.
Was it?
Oh,
she had a little crown.
The crown. Yeah, that was cool. I liked that.
Oh yeah, her makeup was really cool as well.
So
but the outfit was hella basic.
Oh.
Again.
It's a little basic parts.
Like I think she wore some sort of coat thing, right? But underneath, like her actual outfit was really basic.
Maybe I didn't pay attention enough to the outfit underneath. Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I might have been peeing that moment.
Yeah, maybe. Okay, so Cameron's look.
Oh, this I thought was quite clever. Yeah, I quite like this.
Yeah, it was very different, very cool. Kind of reminds me of Dragula.
Yeah, I get that. I really liked like the outfit itself. With me, actually, I think the makeup had a really cool idea, like the frostbitten thing. But it just, again, I know it's not bad if you make yourself look like a man, but it's actually painted a beard on, like a goatee.
I did think it was a beard at first.
Yeah.
It took me like a good couple of seconds to realize it wasn't a beard.
And again,
but I mean, still, nonetheless, I thought it was great.
So no, yeah, I agree. But I feel like with Cameron, because like her thing is like she wants to separate herself from being the manly queen as much as possible. I guess her sort of face shape and body type, she sort of needs to feminize herself a little bit more potentially. Like you just, I don't know, like I wasn't getting the illusion really, 100%. Everyone's loving it though in the comments. I loved a lot of aspects of it. I think if I'd seen another queen, I would have liked it a lot more.
But
I'm just not
I feel like it could have been sold a little bit more as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You could have wanted her to walk through this a little bit more drama to the walk, right? To have this kind of I'm the queen of everything.
Yeah.
Yeah,
exactly. I'll totally 100%. Cast a little spell, on the side.
Yeah.
Like Shazap, and then walk away.
Shazap.
Yeah.
Just walk around and say Shazam.
Exactly. Cheeky little Shazam. Move on. Don't worry about it.
So
Don't worry about
this is the word. This is our lurk. This is our
You
version
think?
of lurk. We've got Shazap now.
It's like, don't even worry about that Shazappa left over there. That's it. I know.
Oh,
Okay, so Jess has got a good point. This is how I feel about Cameron. She's either giving me Real Housewife or Bearded Lady.
a little bit.
Right.
Yeah, right. That's exactly how I feel about her this episode.
Yeah.
Thanks, Jess.
And I'm more there for the bearded lady, to be honest.
Yeah, it's more interesting.
Mm.
Faux show.
Faux show.
And yeah, and Kurt saying she was stiff when she was walking. Yeah,
Mm.
yeah, that's how I feel. Vixen.
What was... See, I was in two minds. I kind of wanted that extra bit that was on top of the dress. I kind of wanted that to be like a suit jacket, that kind of length, because I feel like it was.
I'm trying to remember it. I remember I
It
really
was
loved
kind of like a whitish, silverish ball gown kind of thing that puffed out at the bottom.
Like sort of Marie Antoinette kind of thing.
Yeah, and then it had like a kind of jackety kind of dress thing that went. And I kind of wanted the jacket to just be a little bit shorter and almost be like a waistcoat plus a dress. For me personally, or to be extra long. Like for me, it was kind of caught in a middle length. I still think her makeup was beautiful, but
I think it was great. I think it was really, really good as well. So yeah, so I haven't been a fan of Vixen's look, but this episode, it's like I can't. Yeah, her firsty looks I absolutely loved. I think her first look was better, but I loved this look as well. I think it was great.
Yeah.
I thought this was a good look. I liked it.
And again, she sold the character well as well.
Mhm.
She had horns.
Yep, loved it. Okay, Aquaria.
What was...
Oh, I loved.
Oh, the slightly like pastel color. Yeah, that was gorgeous. I love the way it moved as well. It's really cleverly done.
Gorgeous fur. I want that fur for my life.
It's cool she made it herself. They shouldn't like buy it pre-done like she died.
Yeah, and again, it could have looked cheap, but she veered it away from that because she's skilled.
Yeah.
Like that, it came out really beautifully.
Her vision is great. You're shooting too many people. You can't have this many shoots.
He can have all the shoots that he wants.
Okay, yeah, you can. Jess, are you saying Aquaria's winter look was your favourite look of the whole episode? That's interesting. For me, everyone's loving Aquaria's look in the comments. I was unsure initially because I think the colours were just like a little bit much for me. But the more I looked at it, I think again,
pastel.
I love pastel, but it's just a pastels. Like it's too much. There's a lot of pastel colours going on. Like I prefer stuff like Eureka's with like the pink and like the pale blues and like violets and like it's more of the same sort of tones. Whereas Aquarius is very much like these are all the colours. I'm giving you all the colours today.
Did it remind you a little bit of?
Sorry?
Do you remember Raja in the hair challenge in season 3? And it was this kind of like puffy skirt and it was kind of painted similar colours. And it kind of reminded me of that in a really positive way because I think both of them were very well done. Which is having all those pastels together can so easily look like a kind of rainbow vomit kind of thing all over it. But actually, it just about avoided it. It was quite well done.
Yeah, I think because of that, I think it took me a minute to digest.
Yeah,
I think that's what happened. And again, I think it's like the way she sold the look as well was really great. Like she looked like I don't know, like the characterization. She looked like really pretty and like she looked. I don't know, like I think awe on her. If she walked past, I'd be like, oh my god, this lady's amazing.
Right, and I think this is also what made me like her a little bit more this episode was like that look was quite playful and was quite fun.
Exactly.
Whereas before, she's been very serious in everything else. And it's kind of nice to see her just like let loose a little bit because like she's a lot more engaging.
It's like classy, flirtatious Russian. That's what I was getting. Goes to the neon ball, goes to that colour ball thing. I don't know.
Well, Kurt, he's saying, okay, I need to say something to Kurt. Because he's saying, I think it was too much, but she's a drag queen. Is there too much? Kurt, look, it seems like you're unsure about your own opinions. Just feel it. If you don't like it, just say you don't like it. That's okay with you. You're entitled to it. And if you think it's too much, then it was goddamn too much for you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's okay.
It's okay. This is a place we can be ourselves. We can have a controversial opinions.
You feel your oats, Kurt.
You feel your oats. Thanks, Jess. Jess is saying Aquaria looked like a Zap ice lolly, which is true.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good.
How about Shazap? Ice lolly.
Sorry.
What? Oh no, no worries. I was making a stupid joke.
Okay.
How did you just share the link with me?
What?
Magic.
Oh, did I message you? Oh, what?
I don't know.
I don't know. Sorry.
Are you sending a secret text about me?
Yeah, I am a little bit. I've been cut him off. Cut
You saw what he
him
just
off.
said.
Oh, Bob, your connection is really bad. Oh no,
Oh no.
we can't hear you. Yeah.
Who's
Who's
next?
next?
Dusty.
More like crusty. Am I right, Jess?
No, more like crispy.
What was this look for her?
It had
Oh
like-
no, I like kind of Elizabethan, kind of regal, like the Queen kind of thing.
but like
I
her
loved it.
cool.
That was cool. I thought that was really cool. And she had hearts and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, the heart was a bit. I think it's cooler when Max did the heart in the box for the Death
Yeah.
Becomes Us challenge.
Yeah,
Like-
definitely. Hi,
Hey Hayden, you're right. I don't know. I just feel like Dusty needs more polish. I do love Dusty.
Yeah.
I love Dusty's like concepts. I think he's got a really cool like personality and all this sort of stuff. But I just think his looks could be so much more polished. It's sort of like how Milk was in difference between the seasons. In that, like, I know like she turned to a bit of a dick, but like the level of polish in her looks just got like increased so much over a few seasons. I think like Dusty would be amazing in All Stars 5.
Yeah.
Hayden. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
She
I
did have
agree.
a jump start, so.
Yeah, but it was a bit. I don't know. It was a bit like much, a bit people pleasing.
Yeah.
It's like you got like this cool, awesome like look and like concept, and like you're people pleasing as well. It's like stay in your lane, you know?
It's not people pleasing.
Stay in your Stacey lane.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh.
Nice one. That was good. That was well.
Definitely gonna use that.
That was cool.
Stolen.
Yeah.
Stolen forever.
But I liked it. Overall, I liked the look a lot.
Bob's so proud of himself and his bun. Look at him. Look at his face.
I'm
It's
so
Bob.
happy. It's like getting top 2 of the week, or just even any 2.
I'll give you my charisma later on, Paul.
Aw.
Oh, hello.
Okay. Monique.
Easy on.
Marie.
Monique, what was Monique? Oh, I just thought it was a bit like meh.
Hated it. Absolutely hated it.
Yeah, that wasn't a good look.
Colours
It
were
just-
like, terrible.
It just felt a bit like, again, kind of obvious in some ways.
That was a rough spot. Like, there was nothing interesting about that
yeah,
outfit.
it's just bad. I think it's just like straight up bad.
Yeah, sorry, Monique.
Soz about it. Soz babes. Okay, Blair.
She needs to just stop wearing trench coats.
Yeah, I was expecting her to
What's
take
she
it
wearing?
off and like have some.
Yeah.
It,
I
just,
can't remember hers.
it was just
It-
like a leopard. It
To
was
me, like,
leopard.
yeah, it kind of looked a little bit like she took the
Oh.
feather dress from last week and turned it into a trench coat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And I was like, it's still, she still looks pretty even when she does like something a bit more basic. But I think for me right now, like, I love her personality, and I do like how she looks in her like eye. But I just think that she's not kind of pushing herself to just go that extra mile.
yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
This
I
is
agree.
one step missing.
Yeah, I agree. But I think what does save her, something we talked about a lot of episodes, it's like she does sell the character well.
Yeah,
Like, it's characterized very well. She's still fun to watch on a runway.
yeah.
Like, it sold the look to me. But I do still agree with everything you're saying, you know?
Definitely.
hmm
Cool.
Toe said, no, not Toe. Sutakin said, I do declare that Blair was mad.
That's quite good as well.
Which is good.
That's good. That's
This is
good.
the thing to be at, you know?
Everyone's engaged.
Exactly.
Everyone's punning along.
Yeah, that's it.
Great.
It is. Good job, everyone.
I wish I was at home.
I know, same. My real home.
Go on.
Okay, so Asia.
What was it?
Oh, I really liked
What was it? What was it?
her winter look or summer look, whatever. It was like a colorful jumpsuit with like a colored fur on top.
Oh, yeah. There were a lot of colors going on. It was like leopard print and pink and yellow and green neon and like, yeah.
Area.
See, this is the opposite for me because like this is why I liked her previous look, like the brown one with the pops of color. This was just too much for me.
Okay.
I just didn't like it. I guess it's personal taste thing.
That's because you're racist.
Is it? Fair, maybe.
In kind of like true Laganja style, my eyes felt very attacked.
My
I-
eyes do feel very attacked, especially
But, like-
after Monique's as well.
Right. But then at the same time, I do think actually, like, once my eyes had kind of like settled from the kind of color assault, I actually did kind of grow to like it a little bit. I think it was like there were a lot of colors going on, but I think that's kind of just who she is. Like, she likes that. And I think Actually, I think it came out all right. Like, I mean, it was definitely like this. The shape of it was very nice. Like the silhouette was really good. I liked the kind of first stole over the shoulder kind of thing. I just like wanted a little bit like of a simpler color palette in some ways, so my eyes could like adjust to it. Apparently, Grant disagrees so much he's just like off. He's off to put his head in the oven.
No, okay, yeah, I see what you're saying. I'm still listening. Okay, but I'm excited to talk about this one. Crackers.
Oh, I loved this.
Oh, I really liked
Yeah,
it.
right. I was the only one is getting like. Why didn't none of the judges say Penelope Pitstop?
Yes, exactly. But it was like Penelope Pitstop if she was in like some kind of Soviet. Like she was a Soviet spy in like a James Bond film.
Yeah,
And as well as that, she was played by 4 gay men. Like it was incredible. Like I loved it. It was so like
that
it
reference
was.
is far for me. I can't like.
Okay.
I was with you on that train, and suddenly like the Eureka.
Oh, yeah, the 4 gay men thing is a bit. Well, 4 gay men can kind of disrupt trains of thought quite constantly. But no, I did like. I thought there was like an extra element of kitsch to it. Like it felt like not only was she Penelope Pitstop, who's incredibly gay, and in like as a spy villain who is also quite kitsch, but then there was just this extra level of kitschiness to it that I adored. It was just so like I loved it.
Cracker though, isn't it? I guess.
Yeah, and that's why I love her.
Yeah, I actually loved it. This is my favourite Cracker look by far this episode, and probably my favourite winter look actually. I really liked it a lot. I think it was really really cool.
I thought it was the best look of the night.
Best look of the night.
No, her.
Oh, okay.
best look.
Cool. So on to the space looks.
All right.
Everyone keen?
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Let's do it.
Are you ready?
I'm ready. Right, Mayhems.
Oh, I loved this. She was kind of like
Heads and the red.
yeah, like it was a full thought out thing.
I didn't like the middle part. I thought it was kind of. It did something weird with her silhouette. I
I
thought
didn't notice.
it was just loose around
Was
the
it?
waist and stuff. But the rest was really cool. But then the middle was a bit off, I thought. But it's still a toot.
I'll go with Kin. For me, it's a bit middling. I liked it. I did like it, but compared to some of the others, it was, she deserved to be safe in my opinion. But what I did really like was like the makeup there was like a lighter
Yeah.
strip at the top.
Yeah.
And everything was sort of shaded darker. I just thought that was really, really cool.
Yeah, and she took the glasses and it was still darker,
It-
which was a cool effect. Yeah.
It was giving me like early like Star Trek, Star Wars,
Right.
sort of, like first time in makeup effects or whatever. Realness.
Never mind.
I still thought it was quite glamorous, and what I really love about the kind of wackier looks or the looks that are a little bit less ordinary is that it gives amazing untucked moments, or like any like backstage, because you've got like someone full on crying or like arguing, and you've got someone there like dressed as a Teletubby, or, like, dressed as like whatever, and they're like sad about it in untucked. So I always love it when there's an untucked where something important happens and someone is there looking like really out of this world in a ridiculous kind of way. Like it works every time for me, and this was like no exception.
Yeah, everyone's agreeing with you about the torso.
The torso was messy.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Interesting. I just see it again. But yeah, Bob's right. I think that like sums up like the ridiculousness of Drag Race. Like that is what Drag Race is. Those moments. Like that is a show in a nutshell.
Literally like dressed like a fucking alien from outer space.
Feeling very attacked.
Shouting.
Yeah.
Right. Whilst like Eureka with this like kind of like loaf thing made of like metallic kind of things is like arguing with someone. It's brilliant.
Yeah, exactly. I know. Okay, so on that note, Eureka's look.
I actually didn't hate it. I didn't hate it, which is like surprising because I don't really always get Eureka's aesthetic, but I actually quite liked it. I thought like the headpiece was really clever, like a fun little nod to what she always does with the little loaf hair thing. And even then, it was like a step beyond because it was so big, like it was crazily large. I thought it was quite funny. I liked it.
I liked it.
I didn't like it that much. It was all right.
Okay,
I thought it was a bit costumey.
Yeah,
with
I
the
agree
shoulder
with that.
things. That's all I thought.
Yeah, it looked a little bit. Same with Mayhem's. Both of them for me, like, a little bit like arts and crafty, like a little bit like I don't know. Like, they would give it more polished. Both of them, but I did like it. I liked it. Who's next? My name. This is controversial, I guess, based on.
I think it had a lot of promise. Like that could have been a lot better. I think it didn't move very well when she was walking. Like the whole dress kind of shifted. as she was walking. So I which kind of made it look quite heavy.
I know what you mean. I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Fabric.
that's it.
It looked janky to me, like, because it was weird because like it has some asymmetrical parts. Like the back part was asymmetrical, it was off to one side, but then the front part was perfectly symmetrical. And then like it just wasn't like, I don't know, it just wasn't working for me. It just looked janky,
Yeah.
right?
Just wasn't.
But she loved it, which I guess is what matters. Right.
Yeah.
And anything other than a competition, yeah.
Exactly, I know. But this is the thing with her. This is a running theme. She's loving her looks, but no one else is.
But not quite as bad as like Monique with hers. Like her, like I should have already taken the trophy by now.
Oh,
like,
true.
Yeah. Monique's like, I had 2 looks, and and they were both kind of meh. But you know, I don't know, whatever.
Yeah. Okay, Cameron.
I thought it was fun. I thought it was played up, like we were saying earlier, like she played a bit of a character to it. Although I was a bit like, okay, do something else than just like hitting the receiver.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah. I liked it. I think it was like the most interesting character there was out of this set.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that she gave really beautiful face. I thought, but even her had even she has to admit that the bottom was pretty basic. Like,
I was surprised though, by like I was saying like she wasn't happy with her outfit. I actually thought compared to some of the other queens, especially like we said like Mayhem and Eureka, to me it felt more polished in their outfit.
Yeah, and I think it was good that absolutely, and I think it was good that she took something of, like a robot and kind of really feminized it and kind of used the kind of silvery metal thing to give a really kind of soft like glimmer to her skin, which I thought like I think she did it quite cleverly, like taking what could have been like a hard metallic kind of thing and making it quite feminine and very like a very smooth kind of look with that. So I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I was impressed. It was the only look of hers I liked, I guess, this episode, like properly. Like I thought it was good. But the opposite, so Vixen's first few looks I loved, but I hated her last one.
This for me, I kind of felt like it was like the leftovers from like the winter challenge. For her, it was like same kind of colors, and I didn't quite get it. I don't know if there was something I was missing. I think I just needed it to. It didn't read space to me in any real way.
Crafty. This is the sort of Vixen I really don't like in terms of aesthetic.
Her pants. The fuck was going on with her pants? I didn't look.
Nothing. I just think it's bad. I think
the pants were.
Look. Yeah.
It wasn't a look.
It was not a look. Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we're all on the same page about that, right?
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, Aquarius.
Oh, I love this.
Love, live. Yeah.
I was a little bit like, it was kind of funny because obviously you kept on having like the little like sensory bits around her, like the bits that were censored around her crotch and her ass. So it was kind of like weird because it kept on like kind of throwing off the image ever so slightly because you just have this like blurry bit. I don't know if we would have been able to see that. I don't know if we could have seen that much of her without. I
think it's pointless.
But either way, I thought it was really well done. I thought like it was very bold. It was like that was the look I remember. All 3 of her looks were the ones I remembered most, probably. I think each from their respective challenges.
Yeah, that was definitely.
And I think I was surprised that they were like really umming and ahhing between her and Miss Cracker because I was like, I'm pretty sure Aquaria just stole that.
I completely agree. That's the thing. I feel like the other ones are all up and down. Like had some good like runways as part of his challenge, and some weaker ones. Whereas Aquaria just like nailed every single one. Level.
Right, in a way that I kind of hate some of this terminology, but I kind of feel like in terms of Drag Race history, like history, like they're slightly more iconic. As in, I think these looks will be remembered in like 3, 4, 5 seasons.
Exactly.
Whereas like the other ones won't.
I mean, I do say that quite often, but that is a contender for being my lurk at your funeral. Just saying.
You do. You're literally always thinking about my funeral.
But like they keep coming back with these amazing like looks that could really suit me at your funeral, and that one was.
You put on black, especially to come here today. You're gagging for it, aren't you?
I love the idea that like everyone's really sad and like to like bury Grant, and you're just there in like a lucha libre kind of like like with this giant hair, kind of being like woo, like Grant's being buried. Everyone else is crying.
I'd still be sad, or at least look sad.
But like a sad lucha libre, or a sad like a sad like thing with the fluffy like winter thing would have just been hilarious.
That would have suited. That look would have worked. I wouldn't mind if that look at my funeral. Maybe slightly
Right.
less than yours.
Which one?
The pastel winter look per one.
No, I feel like I want to show more body than that. Surely.
Yeah,
It's your
true.
funeral.
You already have. Go
deserve
to your
it.
Instagram.
You deserve it.
Plug your Instagram. Do you know what I mean? You have been. You've been bearing it all over there recently, haven't you?
Oi, oi! I
Couldn't
put
wait to
a
get it
little
out.
bit of cleavage.
A little
and
bit.
it's
You
the
can't
talk
fill
of
it
the town.
out.
Fucking hell.
Let me feel some kind of way about it.
Oh my gosh, I've had all sorts of talk just
Have
because
you?
I posted one photo with a little bit of boob.
I think you slayed Kool-Aid.
By the way, check my Instagram.
Get on it. I'll put a link in the description. So let's catch up with the comments. Okay, so yeah, I think Suzuki's made a good point. Aquaria, again, is more like superhero than space. I think that's a fair point. I mean, Kurt's like more like super villain.
Yeah, that is a fair point.
But it kind of works because I could totally see her like being a villain who comes on to like a star, like the Starship Enterprise or something. Like kind of walks on and like suddenly with the like dramatic flourish of that cape is just like, oh no, this is what we, this is what I've decided. We're taking over your planet. Like I could totally see that.
Yeah, I get it. Like Silver Surfer, maybe more like that sort of vibe.
Oh, I hadn't thought that. Yeah, but that works.
Program.
Yeah. Also, Hayden's saying he's come to my funeral in Cameron's feather look. Can we please stop everyone talking what look that comes to my funeral?
Please comment down below which look would you come to Grant's
I won't be
funeral?
pissed off if I'm happy with the look. Like, it's got to do...
I mean, you'll be dead, so you probably won't have much of a
that's a good
say.
point.
That's the whole
I'm
point.
gonna come in like the worst. I'm gonna come in like the fat suit that Shanzler did the lip sync in.
Yes!
No!
Do
And
it.
I'm gonna do some Big Frida like kind of rap all over your grave.
God. Fine. Okay, it will be quite entertaining. Okay, Dusty's look.
Oh, this was. I didn't actually get really space. It just kind of was a bit like cheap metal, really.
I
But
was getting like C-3PO sort of vibes.
oh yeah, I guess yeah.
You wasn't.
I wasn't.
Mm.
I agree.
I think-
with you. It was more fairy tale.
Yeah, and I think again it had kind of potential if it had been in like a different challenge or done a bit differently. Like I could see the look that she was kind of going for. It just didn't quite hit the mark for me. But otherwise, it's kind of frustrating with Dusty because, like you were saying, it's kind of a thing of polish because her concepts are quite interesting a lot of the time. I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry, everyone's still commenting about my funeral in the chat. Jess is saying, need to discuss plans about Grant's funeral. Maybe we should do Miss Cracker plus Aquaria twin looks deal.
Oh my god.
Oh my God.
Yes.
And who's coming in? Kurt's coming in Eureka's entrance look. Which one? Season 9 or 10 though? Need to know. Okay, but sorry, back to Dusty. My thing is, like, I agree, it did read more fairy tale than space, but then, like, I feel like we've been pretty loose with most of them. Like, even just Aquarius, like, I think that's more superhero than space. I agree with Suzuki. I don't think it's, like, obviously space.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, that's
It
fair.
was an ugly look at all. But
I don't think it was great. Her waist was not cinched enough. You're wearing a corset, cinch out waist, girl.
Girl.
Right? Right, though?
Yes.
Thank you. Also, she looks a lot like Dev, that singer from Bass Down Low. Actually, her new music's actually pretty good.
No one
Little
knows
plug
your
for Dev.
references.
Actually, pretty good music. But she looks just like her.
Okay.
So you're welcome, everyone.
All right.
Monique.
Monique, where she went?
What was
Oh
her-
yeah, I really liked Monique's actually.
What was it?
It was the green dress.
Oh, yeah. That's what I wrote. I wrote cool material, boring design.
Oh, that
One
was
like-
cool.
Yeah. Well, do you like it generally?
I did.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it because there's a kind of reveal kind of thing, wasn't there? I
Yeah.
didn't really get. I still didn't really get like after the reveal. I didn't get space, but I mean, it was basically like
It was the whole point is being like, oh, she walks in as an astronaut,
Right.
and then she takes it off because it's a party and Mars kind of thing.
yeah, that
Well,
works. I thought it was alright. Yeah,
That's not what I said. Like, the material was great, but it was just like a basic design for an outfit. But also, again, it didn't read space. Like, again, if you're going to read Dusty, then read Monique. It's just like a dress with shiny material.
Yeah, but the whole thing is that she was going to space for a party. That's why she walked in the
This reach,
and then she was stabbed, and then she crystallized, and then
Exactly. It was a bit like that to me.
I don't know. I like Monique.
Mixed reviews in the comments. Blair? What was Blair's? Well, I can't remember it.
I can't remember either.
I can't remember it. Oh, it was a pink thing.
Oh, yeah. Do you remember, Bob?
Oh yeah.
Was
That
it
was
white
good.
straps? What were the colour of the straps? I had like straps going around it. Right?
Either way, I thought it was cute. Again, I feel like she needs to pull out something a bit more show-stopping at some point.
Yeah, it wasn't very memorable, clearly.
I said it's well executed.
Oh yeah, definitely, always with her. But
yeah, true. True, and she's a seamstress, isn't she, as well?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, she is.
Yeah. I'll blame Suki can say it's like a Space Barbie look. I wasn't getting Space Barbie necessarily. I don't know. It was. I liked it. I thought it was cool. Asia.
I didn't really get what was going on.
What was it?
It was they had the balls on the head.
Oh, I loved it. I really liked it a lot.
I actually, as a silhouette, I really enjoyed it. I think it was a little bit, it was a little bit rough around the edges at times. But like, I also kind of I almost wanted her to lip sync just to see if she would have kept that on, or like, and I kind of like tried to like really go for it. But
I think it's really cool because I think the actual dress itself like looked couture to me. I don't know, like
it was, yeah, there were some really good parts about it. I remember quite liking it. Like, I think there were a little. I didn't love it, but like, yeah.
I didn't like it.
Most people aren't liking the comments. Again, it's just personal taste. I liked it, so I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Cracker.
I'm kind of surprised that everyone like fawned over this on the judging panel because I was a bit like, it's kind of basic thing. But I mean, she did sell it, even though I still don't really, like I said earlier, I still don't really get Voguing Astronaut as like as the character that everyone was like fully on board with. But like maybe I missed something. Maybe there's a kind of Judy Jetson reference there like after on this. Either way, I thought it was good. It was well put together. I liked how she presented it. I just don't get why people like full on love it. But
yeah, I liked her makeup like with the eyebrows thing.
That was cool.
I still feel like it was more of a safe look than a top look.
Yeah. I don't get why like it seems a big thing in Drag Race, this whole like the 80s idea of what space would be like.
Yeah.
A lot of queens seem to have that aesthetic, and I think in terms of that aesthetic, it was cool. But it's the sort of aesthetic we've seen so much from Drag Race, like starting with Trixie Mattel. I think it was good, but again, I agree with people. I don't think it was like mind-blowingly amazing.
Yeah. I have to admit, I was really surprised that Miss Cracker was like top 2, because when they called her name, I was like, oh shit, like she's bottom 3. Even though I wouldn't have thought I wouldn't think
trying to create that rivalry, like Cracker against Cracker v Aquaria.
Yeah.
Are you just gonna start cooking in the middle of your?
Yes, I'm going to take a second. I'm very hungry, so it's quite late.
Just finish the fucking podcast.
We've got quite a lot to go through, so we've got untucked and all the other stuff afterwards.
I'm not gonna just sit here. Okay, I'm going home, guys.
No, I'm still talking.
Bye.
I'm still talking. I'm jumping in. But when you guys are talking, I'm cooking. I'm almost done.
For fuck's sake, Grant. It's just no professionalism, you know.
It is. It's supposed to be like you guys are chilling with us, you know. We're just living our lives. You guys are just getting involved.
If you're not gonna be professional,
no, I need my thing.
I'm definitely not gonna be professional.
I need my thing. So right, that's all the looks done. We're all very proud of ourselves. So we talked about Asia already, helping the other queens because that's what she's
cover my belly.
During judges. Monet's. Oh, okay. So if you lip sync, what are you guys' thoughts on the lip sync?
Oh, I really enjoyed it. I mean, okay, so I have 2.
Yeah, me too.
It was really, really good. I loved the kind of like the fake jump.
That was so good.
And I think as well that could have been like that could have just been a an interesting and fun moment. But I think she really sold it. Like she had the whole. Like they're like no, I'm not doing it. It's kind of like I'm so over that, and it was really well done. I loved it, and that's the thing. Like Dusty was kind of like gangly and awkward, but I also kind of lived for it. So like I
don't know. I disagree. I wrote down. I thought that Dusty just looked. What did I write? Concerned. That's the word. He looked really concerned. How I feel like he lip synced. He got every single word. And his performance was not bad at all. I think it was a good performance, but his face just looked concerned the whole time.
Yeah, it was a little bit. Yeah,
I thought they both did a really good job, but obviously, like Monet
slayed, right? Monet won by a mark.
Oh, like there's no question. Like that could not have. Like if Dusty had been against like a weaker queen, Dusty would have got that. But like, Monet was not. Monet was not going down. Like she was not leaving.
That's her forte. Lip syncing is her forte.
Yeah. So it's going to be really
interesting. Tuning in now. I had a long week, and Grant just gave up on his own fucking stream. So.
No, I'm back again. See, I'm done. That took a second. Right.
But I'm kind of intrigued because, like, in terms of, but like in terms of,
Krusty is giving me, so Jess, you say Krusty is giving me mum at the school disco, so cute.
little bit.
it was a bit, but like one thing that's kind of interesting about this season so far is we're 4 episodes in, and we've already had 3 of like the top contenders having to lip sync. Which is like not something you always get, and that's what I think is really interesting about the season. Is like it's really clear right from the off that this is, you know, you cannot afford to have a poor week. Monet had to do this, so did Mystique. No, what?
Mystique. That's X-Men. Or Mystique.
Mayhem. I don't know why my brain went to Mystique because like it begins with an M, and then I was just like Mystique, but like I wasn't even thinking of like Mystique from like season 2. I was just genuinely thinking of Mystique from X-Men. So yeah, but Eureka's had to lip sync as well. So it's anyone's game, and this is what's going to be really interesting because I think it's a season full of people who would absolutely kill it in lip syncs. So like.
True.
If you can imagine, like imagining someone like Monet and the Vixen, for example, in a lip sync together, or even Monet and Miss Cracker in a lip sync together would be amazing as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see. I feel like we might have a couple of like, we might have at least a double stay this season. I feel.
Oh, that'd be cool. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Hayden's trying to come for my gig, but he's not. You could come fight me for it. Sukin is saying he's pushing. He said it a couple of times. I'm going to say it out loud. That he's saying Dusty was injured from a metal costume. That's why she didn't do well. I totally disagree with that. I don't think that was the case at all. I think she
did well, but I think Monet was better.
Yeah, I don't think she was because she was like hurt. Like she was like, I'm sure she was like she'd been rubbed in like rash or whatever and grazed, and I'm sure it's like uncomfortable. But she just looked concerned. I think because she wasn't ready for the competition. Like she knew she was going home, right? Like if I was up against Monet, I don't know, like Dusty wasn't ready. I think she knew.
Yeah.
But she gave her best. I
respect
that.
Yeah, it was still entertaining. It was still good. Okay, so that's the whole show, but now we've got Untucked to go through.
I need to go home.
This won't take. Actually, it will take long. So it's sort of a continuation from last week, in the like is centered around the Vixen, the thing we need to talk about. But the first thing I wrote down before we get into it is like, you know, Eureka was being annoying.
Eureka pissed me off so much. So actually, one thing I really enjoyed about this was like I finished watching it, and then like about an hour later, a friend of mine started watching it, and then she was like, "Oh, I kind of liked Eureka this episode." And I was like, "What's Untucked?" Because she hated her in season 9, and she wasn't as much of a big fan really either in season 10. So I was like, "Yeah, no, I mean." Eureka was such a fucking baby for all of this. Like, she kind of did this whole, like, as soon as the conversation was not about her, she became like this little toddler throwing her like toys out of the pram. She did this whole like, instead of just kind of getting up and going for a cigarette, she had to give this like dramatic speech that was a bit shady. And then even then she was like not going, and she was just being ridiculous. And I had no time for her. I think the Vixen, like, as much as like, I was like on the Vixen side completely on this. I was like, you know, I didn't quite get at first why that remark had made her so angry, but I think it's one of those things, like the Vixen very clearly gave warning signals and was like, hey, I'd rather you not do that. And then with the word negative was like, still would really rather you wouldn't do that. And it was quite clear. You just have to read the room, Eureka. Like the Vixen is not happy with you right now. Go and and that's the thing. Then Eureka admitted, didn't she? She was like, "Oh yeah, I just wanted like mess with her and push her and see how far she'd go." I'm like, Eureka, that's so fucking immature. Like this is not Jerry Springer. Like, you know, you don't get like a $50 tip for showing your tits or something. Like, come on.
Like her excuse was like, "Oh, I felt like she didn't like me, and now I know." Well,
no, okay.
Now she definitely doesn't like you because
I agree with what Bob said totally about like the pushing thing, and I totally agree with that 100%. But what I do think is like strange, what I mentioned earlier, is like it's what we talked about before. But she got like that comment about being crafty. I don't think that's an insult. B, that's what she says she is, and like she did use that as an excuse to go in. And I know Eureka kept pushing her sort of thing, but she didn't do anything that bad really. But but she knew what she's doing still. She still knew what the fix is like, and she knew the reaction she was going to get.
I think it's Eureka's attitude when she approaches these things.
Yeah,
Sorry.
but doesn't necessarily excuse her behaviour just because it's a vixen and we know what she's like, you know? Like,
Yeah,
she
you know.
went too hard. Like, she got, like, full on, like, hysterically aggressive.
But that's the thing. I think because like the vixen had been sat there like perfectly happily. Now there is one thing that somebody pointed out, which is the fact that like Eureka did the whole thing about like being interrupted, and then like a moment later Monique interrupted, and the same thing didn't happen. But then I do feel like it was kind of different because like the vixen had been like sat there pretty happily chilling. Eureka kind of butted in, was kind of saying some things that are a bit like off, and then didn't read the signals read the signals, but then chose to keep on going. And then and I don't think you can I don't think you should excuse someone by saying like, oh, you know what they're like in that sense. But at the same time, like, she's not going to have like massively changed within an episode, and Eureka knows this. And like starting to bait her and then purposely baiting her, and then again, like, this proves part of the point that she was saying last episode, which is the whole thing of like, now optics wise, even race or not, like, now Vixen is being set up to look like the angry one when Eureka freely admitted to baiting her into that. Like,
I agree to an extent. I think there's more behind it. Like Sutikin just said, and this is how I feel. It's the next thing I want to talk about. He says, if you're cold towards someone for no reason, and even you can't flip when they challenge it. And like, I agree, like with you completely. I think she came about it completely wrong way. She could have sat her down and been like, I feel like you don't like me. You're acting a certain way towards me, but. Obviously, but I couldn't imagine having that sort of conversation with Vixen anyway. So I understand why she wouldn't at some reason. So I think Eureka said she's like, oh, I'm gonna just like see, like, I don't think she really pushed anything far. She sort of didn't really say that much, but she just wanted. I don't know, like, it came from somewhere. It wasn't just out of nowhere. She's not like, oh, the Vixen's pissy, I'm gonna keep pushing her. It was like I think Eureka came from like a fair place, like she had like a leg to stand on with it.
I'm not sure. There's something that really pisses me off with Eureka, which is like, she does this kind of like, I'm like, this kind of like big, like she basically, I think it's like a lack of accountability, and it's something that I hated about her in season 9, and I found really difficult to stomach. And she seemed better on season 10 up until this moment, which is just like, like in that whole kind of like, she's very quick to like throw this little tantrum and like be really pissy about stuff, and it really bugs me because I know people like her and they like drive me absolutely crazy. And like, I mean, season 9, the same thing happens. Like, but why you got to push it to negative? And like, she instantly, like, her defensive way is to just be like, I did nothing wrong, you're all idiots, and then be like, oh my god, and then like crumble down into like crying. And I think I feel.
That's not what happened this time though at all.
Not this time, but like, I think what she did this time was kind of like, she kind of put it out there, for me at least, like she kind of put it out there, got this argument started, and then did this whole like kind of like, oh god, well, I've been terribly offended, I'm going to walk away now kind of thing. When it's like, you fucking started this, like. And I think the Vixen was right to say that,
I think she started it because it came from somewhere. Like and also she didn't, like, she came back and then she's like, look, like, it is what it is. Like, I want, I pushed you maybe more than I should have. Like, it wasn't like how she used to be in season 9 where she did like act hard done by and bratty and everything. Like, I think she handled it in the end pretty well, to be honest. And again, it's not like, I feel like I do agree with a lot of what you're saying, but at the same time, it's not as if like the Vixen is an angel and Eureka was just being like a like the Vixen was well out of order, like way too far, like not acceptable behavior on any level whatsoever.
It moved very quickly. I was so surprised by how quickly that jumped. But like,
turn in like 3 seconds. I feel like it just doesn't help either of them.
Which is what
it's very stupid to get into like almost a fist fight when both of you are safe. Like, fucking, like
that is a good point.
Yeah,
I think
very good point.
Absolutely.
I think,
At least they were a bit more respectful when like the other queens walked in. And, they just just shut the fuck up and didn't bring it up anymore, because it's like, come on. I don't know, maybe the competition is just getting to them, but
maybe
they, in the end, they can both agree that was a pretty stupid like thing that escalated when it really shouldn't have.
Yeah, I've been surprised. I mean, just like how quickly these arguments are getting quite heated, and like, I mean that one, I do kind of feel the Vixen's frustration in the sense that like because Eureka did very much try and say something and then walk away, but like as in like throwing a grenade into the room and then leaving.
Say beforehand, this is over, sort of thing. She's like, this is done, it's over. So then Eureka started walking away, but I think it's more Eureka wanted to carry it on.
No, that's what I mean. Yeah, sorry, that's what I mean. Like she kind of went to like threw the grenade into the room, kind of like went to leave, and then was like, "Oh no, like I'm carrying this on, but I'm leaving, but I'm also carrying." And like,
oh, Eureka!
fucking,
I was saying the Vixen said like before Eureka went out, she's like, "This is done. This is over."
Oh yeah. Sorry, yeah.
So and I'm like, well, that wouldn't have sat well with me. Like I would have wanted to continue talking it through or arguing it through, or whatever it was. And like I don't know. So I think Jess like is right. So neither side came out well, but to me, I don't know if this is sort of how I felt, maybe a little bit as well. But to me, it was clear that Eureka didn't actually mean to provoke the way she said she did. She was just trying to save her own feelings after the fact.
Yeah,
that's interesting.
On top of on the fence about the two things, I wasn't sure if she actually was trying to poke the bear, or if she just said that because like she had gone out the window anyway, so might as well just say, yeah, it was my plan to do that, kind of thing.
I like what she says as well. Like this is exactly how I feel. Just because you declare you're volatile doesn't make it okay. That's like exactly how I feel. That sums up my stance perfectly.
That's the thing. Like a lot of people say, like just justify their actions by like, this is how I was. Like, but why should you be like that? Don't you want to change? Like, don't you want to not change, but like, how is it? Like, how do you find it acceptable to just tell someone to fuck off?
Like aggressively. I think like you say stuff like.
I know that like if like just rise above, but that's just my opinion.
That's how I feel.
I just think it doesn't help her image
like at least,
at all. She's clearly an intelligent girl. Like she's
exactly.
clearly a talented, intelligent girl. And I think even if she's provoked, and a lot of these times she has been provoked, it doesn't fucking help her.
Yeah.
In any way.
Like Bob said last week, it distracts from her talent.
Yeah.
Her talent's been completely overshadowed by her behavior.
Yeah. Like people are not talking about the amazing looks you're turning and like the talent that you're showing. People are talking about the fact that you're shouting at people at Untucked and telling them to fuck off. It's a shame.
And I think, sorry. And I think if you think about like someone like Willem would get into so many arguments, but like kind of Willem always won them by just basically sitting there and then be like, was so over it. Like Willem doesn't care, so Willem wins automatically.
Yeah.
Like you can't win against someone who completely doesn't give a shit about being in the argument or not. And I think that's kind of and if you think maybe like someone like Bianca as well, who just has like a witty comeback and then will just give you like a withering look and be like, go on, whatever. And I think that's kind of been the problem is like, it's been, I think that like Vixen cares so much in those debates themselves that you always kind of lose, because even if you're right in what you're saying, the fact that you're so worked up means that, I mean, even if like, you have the moral victory or whatever, the way people view you will often come across as if perhaps you've lost.
Yeah, exactly. I totally agree. I think that's a good way to sum it up. But I think, go on.
I was just gonna, because Omar was saying like not everyone's all happy and rainbows and cheers. People have had hard lives growing up, so they won't be cheerful like Blair. And like I feel like we're assuming here that Vixen, she reacts the way that she reacts because she had to be tough. And this is all us assuming, by the way, which can be true or not. But in any case, I think she should strive
to better yourself,
to be more level-headed. She's young, she'll learn. I just don't think like reasons for things shouldn't automatically justify them.
Yeah,
that's all I'm saying. I'm not saying she's wrong in her discussions at all. I'm saying she's reacting in a way that doesn't help her image. That's all.
Yeah.
Like, I think she'll learn with time. She'll look back and think, do you know what? I was right, but I shouldn't have reacted the way that I reacted, because that it just worked herself up. Like, she was upset, and if she had taken a breather and like, do you know what? You're wrong. I'm right. I'm just gonna sit here because you're being stupid. That would have like saved her a lot of fucking grief, and it would have looked a lot better for her. But she's young, it'll be fine. fine.
Yeah. I think like one thing, like I feel like we're especially what Omar's saying as well is like he's empathizing with her, and we're also empathizing with like where she could be coming from and like her potential background and this sort of stuff. And we don't know. But on the other hand, like the difference is she's not empathizing with other people's points of view. She's very much like, I'm right, this is my point of view. What anyone else says, I'm not even going to listen to because I'm right and they're wrong and they're not worth it. Do you know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, we're talking about a show where almost 100% of the contestants have gone through
Exactly.
a lot.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like you can't just say, I'm tough, I'm this, I'm that, because I've been through this and that, which she hasn't said anyways. We're
Right.
all assuming this.
Yeah.
But, you know, you can't say
Everyone's
that.
gone through shit.
Everyone in that
And
show
to
has
show
gone
people
through
haven't
shit.
as well. That's what I don't like. If people like, you know, you meet someone and you think they're like got this amazing life, whatever, you don't know what they've been through, you know.
Mhm.
And yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I think. Oh, sorry, Bob, you got anything else to say?
Oh no, I was going to say also added to that, it's a competition. So like, and they're kind of locked away. So I think they don't have access to a lot of support that they would normally have as well.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, I mean, it's a curious one. I'm interested to see how this is going to get wrapped up, if at all, next episode.
Next lesson. It's interesting you say it though, because that's one thing that's confusing me is why a lot of the queens are backing the vixen up when she behaves like this. Like this episode, I can't remember who was this episode. It was Monique Hart, right? She was like
Yeah.
a proper like backing her up, and it's like again, like even if you agree with her points, like you can't, like it's obviously not acceptable behavior. And like if you're her friend,
but are you gonna say that to her?
but I would, you know. But I say, but if you actually care about yourself, if you're actually someone's friend and you're acting that way on TV or wherever, I'd be like, look, like you're not doing yourself any favors. Like
Miss
I wouldn't be
Crackett
like
tried to.
work. Sorry,
Miss
I
Crackett tried to.
I agree. But I'm saying, but a lot of other queens haven't. Like Monet Exchange last episode, Monique Hart this episode.
Yeah.
Like it is. Okay, we've also, I think universally we can agree, whether she has reasons for it or not, her behaviour is not doing herself any favors.
Yeah, that's what
So
I'm
then, like, if you care about her, don't encourage it. You know.
It's not like you don't want to. I'm not trying to be patronizing at all, but as a fan looking at that, it distracts me. As Bob said, it distracts me from what
Yeah,
she's actually performing.
exactly.
Which I think is amazing. Like I think she's
Especially this
super
episode.
talented.
Mm. Also,
Yeah.
I have to admit, like, despite all of the kind of like the things from this Untucked, like it did lead to two great moments, which is like not only like a gif of like go have your fucking cigarette, but also of one of like, do you know, from like in basically it was like, because when all of them were arguing, well, like, not all of them, when the two of them were arguing, Blair St. Clair is kind of just sat there, just like completely quiet, and someone like put that with like a gif of like, you know, in like Mean Girls when like the whole school starts like having that big fight, and there's that one kid who's like, "Mom, can you come and pick me up?" There's that, like, it's so like true, because I hadn't really thought about it, but Blair was just sat there like, "Fuck me," like, I kind of wish I'd been in the bottom this week just so I wasn't here, you know.
Yeah, no, but I know. But then when Eureka and Mayhem left, Blair was like, yeah, like she's like Monique Hart. She's like, yeah,
that's true.
Right. And all this sort of stuff. She's like trying to like, edge her way into the crew a little bit, wasn't she?
Well, I guess you don't really want to be on her bad side, really.
Yeah. Me smart in a way.
But I'm intrigued to see if it does get wrapped up though, like whether there will be like a neat end to this, or whether it's just gonna
a lot of time. I think it's gonna take maybe Rue to say something to call her out on it. Maybe,
I think it might be. Yeah.
I'm interested to see how it develops. But I think what was more of a crime is that the Vixen absolutely loved Monet's look, her space look.
Oh yeah.
It's terrible.
Maybe loved it. Why not?
It's very bad.
It was very crafty.
So yeah, maybe that was why. Yeah.
Omar is taking it to heart.
I know. We can't go through all of it.
Guys, behave.
Behavior. Okay.
No one's coming for nobody. But I think if I'm gonna make any point here, is that we're all I'm not, but like Omar, you're assuming she's had a tough life. She has.
He said he followed her and he's seen like she has a tough life for a few years. But that's the thing. It's not a double. I'm not saying it's a double standard. I don't think it is at all. I don't think it's a race thing. I think maybe it's certain aspects. I agree with what she said last episode for sure. But it's not a race thing. About behaviour. Any of the queens acted how way she's acted, I would say it's bullying. It's unacceptable.
I thought Eureka was out of order as well.
I thought Eureka was.
I thought Eureka was definitely out of order.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's not double standards at all. We're saying Eureka was a brat and annoying.
Maybe the difference is I think actually Vixen is a more talented like queen than Eureka in a lot of ways. That's why
I agree.
It kind of breaks my heart a little bit to see her like.
That's a fair point.
Yeah.
But like I said, because if I start behaviour of any of the queens, objectively, I think it's just like, to me, it has like similarities to bullying, and it just makes anything like that, I'm just like fully against. Like, it's just too much. It's too far. It's just like, I don't know. It's just, I wouldn't accept that behavior from any queen. And so for me, it's not a double standard at all. That's what I'm
intrigued. If you don't mind me quickly asking this question, I'm intrigued. Like, who do you think at this stage, because we're 4 episodes in, who do you think's like a front runner? Because I feel like it's a lot more mixed than it normally is at this stage of the season.
Say about his game.
I still think Vanjie.
She's going to come back and kill it.
Come back.
Hell yes.
They're still talking about her though.
Yeah.
Vanjie.
Yes. Oh, she better win. Well, who do you think, Bob?
I'm not sure. I feel like it's going to be someone who kind of really like brings it out of nowhere. So I feel like Aquaria is a safe bet for the top 4. I feel like Asia might get like top 5, top 4 maybe.
Mm-hmm.
She might be kind of like.
But do you think there's a clear front runner for you? Or
no, I don't think so. I think Miss Cracker and Aquaria have done probably the best overall. And the Vixen actually has done it really well overall. So I don't quite know. Like, I can't quite put my finger on who I think would be a front runner right now. I mean, I had people who I thought would be, and I mean, so far they haven't killed it in quite the same way. You know,
same. I think I really hope like Monet can be what I want her to be. Like, from what I saw, being in the Meet the Queens, like I still have hopes for her. Like, I think, like you said, like someone could surprise us and like really pull their finger out.
Their finger out.
That's the saying. Yeah.
I feel like Blair's gonna have some kind of like moment soon where she might be like bottom and then like really kick it into gear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure.
She needs to mix it up a bit. I hope she will.
For me, the only one that I feel like is gonna go to top 3 at the moment is Miss Cracker, because I know the
she's consistent. I mean, she's
consistent.
She's been the most consistent, I think.
Yeah. She's going all the way.
I agree.
I don't know if she'll win.
That's how I feel as well. Omar's convinced Asia's winning, so we'll hold you to that. Yeah, should we do our CUNTs?
Yes, please. I need to go home.
Okay. Charisma.
Uniqueness.
Nerve.
Talent.
This stream. Charisma for me is easy. It's Asia.
Yeah.
She's sweet.
Yeah.
Yes.
I thought you said you were going to give me your charisma, Grant. I feel really betrayed.
No, I'll give you my talent, Bob.
Hey.
Yeah.
No, I have to agree. Asia as well for charisma.
Please. Just whip him out. Yeah, exactly. Uniqueness. Aquaria.
Aquaria.
See, I was going to give her talent.
No, I'm going to give her uniqueness as well.
Okay.
Yeah, her looks are the most striking. I'll have to give it. Yeah, I think I have to give her uniqueness.
Okay, this is family on the same plane. Nerve for me is Rue for finally serving us a look.
Ooh.
Damn, boy.
Yeah.
Yeah, it do take a lot of nerve to cover your whole face when you're the host of a show.
Exactly.
I
was talking about his boy look.
Someone gave nerve to her mom. Yes, queen.
Yeah.
I'm going to give my nerve to Eureka for having the nerve to just like...
To poke the bear, I was going to say that.
To poke the bear and then just to do this whole like little like ridiculous thing afterwards.
I agree. I think Eureka has some nerve to be like, sup, and then be like, I wanted that anyway.
Yeah. And what? Mic drop. I respect it. Talent.
Monet for that lip sync.
Lip sync of my life.
Fair. Although I think Bob just edged in front for me with his pun. It was close. What was it again?
I can't remember.
No one saw your...
Oh, stay in your Stacey Lane.
That was... Come on.
Thank you. I'm here all week.
Yeah. Oh, you know, it's like on the street.
No.
Should we just leave it on?
Should we just leave it on? It'd be like a live show with me occasionally like walking through naked,
No,
like not
sorry.
realizing, and then
That's
like me being gone for half the day, and then me having online classes where you basically just see me looking at the screen whilst teaching. So it'd be super awkward for everyone involved. But I'm
I
up
just
for
feel
it.
like you occasionally walking past and crying.
That's my life. And then like me stuffing my face with pasta. And like,
It would be
I
very,
live the
very
dream.
depressing.
Oh,
Yeah.
bless.
Okay, so Thanksgiving, Christmas to Asia, uniqueness to Aquaria, nerve to Eureka, and talent to Cameron. Fair.
It's good.
Good CNT. You guys let us know your CNTs in the comments down below. Also, your thoughts on the Vixen Eureka drama. Do you have a team you're on, or team everyone shut up and live their own lives?
Give us your thoughts if you like.
Yeah, any thoughts at all? Take
All
it.
your thoughts.
Yeah,
Whatever
All your
you
thoughts.
want.
Yeah.
take whatever you're packing.
Oh, gorgeous.
Yeah, I
Go on.
know.
Should we finish with a twerk?
No.
I love that you didn't even wait for permission. You're like, I'm doing it.
It does. No, right. Let's recommend a thing. Like anything you
Oh,
guys
yeah.
have done over the last week or so that you would recommend to the children.
To the children, to the gagging children.
Yeah.
I don't know. As always, I just had a lot of sex.
You're recommending sex again.
Do it, kids. Like this
Not kids.
protection.
Yeah.
I went to see Black Panther, which I really.
Oh, you seen? Oh, so good, right?
Yeah, that was
So
really
good.
good.
Best film out at the moment, I'd say.
It was really, really, really good. I really liked it. What else did I watch? Watched The Town. It was alright.
Town.
The Town.
Mm.
It's an old film.
Okay.
Not
You can have
old,
one
but-
recommendation. Black Panther's recommendation.
Okay, but you've already recommended Black Panther. So
Yeah, but you
what
can
should I
recommend it as well.
recommend? I recommend Black Panther. Go and see it, kids. It's an important piece of film.
Great. Bob.
I don't really know. I was trying to think. I don't think I've checked out anything new recently. The one thing that is a weird recommendation, more just to kind of like stare at in a weird fascination for like 10 minutes,
Is
is
it Picture me.
it's absolutely a picture of you. Yeah. No, it's so Yuhua released a song
Okay.
last week after her elimination, and it's kind of terrible, but it's so bad that it's. I mean, no, it's still bad. It's not so bad that it's good. It's still bad because it's like it's all about Ankh, but it's also like Old MacDonald had a farm, but with like Ankhs, and then it's weird. It's so bad,
I'm
but it's
so
kind of worth watching if you like kind of car crashes.
Oh, I'm scared.
Color me aroused.
Color me around.
I'm checking it out straight after.
Oh,
this
I have
stream.
some more stuff to plug. So
No, you get one thing. What is wrong with you?
Okay, I'm gonna plug my new photos on Instagram.
Oh yeah, fair.
Please give me some
Oh,
likes.
see, you can sum that well. So Yaz's cleavage. This is what he's got from the stream. Yaz's cleavage is now available on Instagram. Grant has a mobile Let's Play. Oh, that's what I'm going to plug. That's a good shout. And
Thank
Bob
you.
is still floppy. Fair. Sums us
Fair.
up well.
Always.
Also, he loves us. Oh, wait, Kurt loves us. We love you too, Kurt. Come join us whenever you can. Thanks.
Why are you speaking like this?
Omar, because it's confident. Omar is plugging Dark on Netflix. It's brilliant. I watched the first few episodes. Did we watch it together? No, I watched it with John and Jess.
I haven't seen
Jess from earlier on in the comments. It was pretty good. I think I need to give it more. I think we watched 2 episodes and I liked it. I was intrigued, but I wasn't fully sold instantly. I think I need to persevere a bit with it.
Yeah.
So Bob's promoting Yuha's video as
It's so
another
bad. I'm so sorry in advance.
okay.
But I feel like it's like The Ring or something, where like I feel like I need
She's
to pass
Asian.
it on. No. As in the feeling of it. Shut up. The reason, like, as in I need someone else to watch it so that somebody else can die. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
great. Thanks, Bob.
Thanks, Ian.
I feel like that will absolve me of like having seen it.
I
Okay.
feel the same way about my Instagram photos. Please check them out.
Okay, let us know what you think about Yuha's video and Yaz's cleavage in the comments down below. And also, I am plugging. I used to play a game called Panya as a teenager. I was fully obsessed with it. It's an anime-style golf game. It's been re-released on Android. Like rebooted. The whole series has been totally rebooted. It's only available on the Thai App Store, but you can just download the APK and it works in English. It's a really fun game. It's a great mobile game. It's an MMO. The art style's beautiful. The characters are really cool. It's just a really polished, really cool game. I'm streaming it on Twitch at the moment if you guys want to get involved. I'll put a link in the description. But yeah, it's great. It's a fun game. That's my plug. Thanks. Okay, so let us know your thoughts on everything in life down below. Any sort of communication we're here for. Follow us on the social medias. And catch us next week for some more drag realness. Okay?
Yeah.
Everyone happy?
I'll do my
Yeah.
Okay. Love you. Bye, everyone. Bye.
Bye.
Bye.